I'm Steph.
I'm also Steph.
And welcome to
The Drop Everything Now podcast.
we have a
Episode.
special guest. Oh,
I don't know what episode it is, so it doesn't matter.
30 something, maybe 40. Ryan, the cameraman's here. Oh.
Hello.
Remember me?
So this is special because we're together.
Yeah.
And nobody has any idea except for the three of us in this room what we just went through to bring you this podcast.
I think it's been a solid, hour and 15 minutes that we've been doing this?
No, literally, this has been the most... I don't know what's going on. It started with a Diet Coke spill on a computer by our cameraman. And then none of the mics were plugging into anything.
And then we had a janky USB thing, but then
Three
the Diet
computers.
Coke factor was really throwing us off on if things were really broken or if it was the computer.
And 3 computers later.
Yeah.
This is the oldest
here.
computer. Oldie but goodie, because you know what the trick is, everybody? Is that this thing still has a USB port.
Honestly, fuck the micro USB or whatever the hell that is that we don't have a real USB port. Honestly, I don't need a thin laptop.
Yeah, and what's the difference between
Nothing.
a less than a quarter of an inch?
Nothing. There's nothing.
It's disgusting. But we're here.
We did it. And I think we're really
Going.
just set too.
Yeah.
I think everything is going to be good tomorrow
Everything's gonna
too.
be Good.
With the computer.
Oh,
The Diet Coke.
yeah, the big Diet Coke incident with the computer.
I think
Yeah.
everything's going to be good.
I really sure hope so. But we got a lot going on, though.
Yeah.
Outside of that to discuss, because there's been it's just perfect timing because Steph is here
So perfect.
visiting me.
Yeah.
Because we're going wedding dress shopping tomorrow for me.
For you. You got it.
I mean, not everybody knows.
That's true.
The details of our lives. And so it's a good, it's a good reason
To hang out? Or record an episode?
Yes. So it's a special treat because you're here, so we're recording an episode. Oh, this is what I was going to say. But it's perfect timing because so much has just happened in the Taylor Swift universe.
So true.
And we have stuff to discuss within I got back from Munich. I went to Munich. The London shows just ended, so she wrapped the European leg of the tour.
God bless.
Because we'll probably be posting. I would say I'll probably post this next week.
Yeah.
So this will be a week
Feel
after.
really
but
happy for her.
We're recording this. What? When did it end? 2 days ago? 3 days ago?
2 days. Because
Yeah.
she posted on Instagram yesterday.
She posted on the big Insta. We will get to the big big Insta. There's so much to discuss, but
What? Did Ryan leave? Oh,
yeah, 'cause Bella's here.
I looked and I was like, the dog isn't here, and I was like,
because we're before
Did
we
he
get
just-
into it. Well, because Ryan will get him. He could chime in for a minute about his Munich experience, but before we do that, the reason we're here, I can't have you try on wedding dresses.
I'm not
with me.
trying on wedding dresses. You're trying them on.
You can't be with me to try on wedding dresses. Wait, you can't accompany me
Okay.
while I'm trying on wedding dresses
It's rude to invite me here.
if you're not a part of my wedding. So, I know you walked in there before. That's so.
No, I actually did not see anything at all.
So I have.
Those my cats.
Yeah. Especially because Belle. So we'll show you. So I made something for you.
Oh my god.
So I made all of my bridesmaids
Wait, this is so cute.
a tote bag with their initials. And what does it say, Steph?
Long live the walls we crashed through. I had the time of my life with you.
Yeah. And her cat. So everybody got a different quote.
I'm
That's-
the only one that got that quote.
You're the only one that got that quote.
We love that one.
That's not your album, though.
I actually did. It threw me off because I was like, did I get Speak Now?
The quotes do not correlate to the albums.
Okay, I see. Oh my God, look at them.
Yeah.
Look at the castle. Is that the Disney castle?
I don't know. Just type in castle.
It looks like. I hope I don't get sued by Disney. Okay, should I go?
Yeah, open it.
Wow.
Well, I'll tell you the first thing.
Okay, why don't you do this for me?
And there's peach
Love.
tissue paper because Ryan's last name is Peach.
Wait, I'm cracking up.
Okay, so this is a makeup bag, and behind it is your album. Steph, I'm really excited about your album. Open it.
Wait, in?
No, on the top of it. That's why it's taped. No, not the zipper. Like, I I worked so hard on that.
Oh my God! Look at them. Okay, wait, hold on, hold this.
All right, you show the camera. Oh, Seth, show the camera. So I have 10 bridesmaids, and and then I would therefore be the 11th girl. So each girl is assigned an album, and I put it on a little makeup bag.
Oh my God, I'm dead.
Red Steph's version.
Look at them. They're little French boys. They look. Oh my God, that is so cute.
And
I
it is
knew.
just tissue. There is something in here, but it's just it's really tissue paper.
Okay,
it's a friendship bracelet in there.
I knew I was red.
Yeah, Steph was guessing what album she would be, and her first guess was red.
Well, it makes sense because college, you know.
Yeah.
Should I keep going? Like,
Yeah, keep
do you want me to
going.
keep going? Okay.
There's not much left. Well,
I feel as if I should wait to read this.
Yeah, I mean, you could. It's not. I didn't proofread it. I really wrote it and just.
It's not about proofreading. It's
wind.
about. Oh my God! Look how cute.
Yeah. The pearl one's gonna be really big on you, but I wanted to be loose, but it's gonna be real loose. But I'll
just put it at the top.
It's a clasp.
I can put it as an anklet.
Yeah, you could. It's a clasp.
What kind of alcohol is this?
It's not alcohol.
What?
I know, because I'll tell you why. It is peach Snapple iced tea.
In this?
Yeah. I put it in myself.
Can you hold this again?
Yes, and I'll tell you why. Because I was thinking, what can I get for everybody? Because I got those things on their own and I made them myself. Turn it around.
Oh. That's so cute. You put it all into these bottles?
I put it into the bottles and I vacuum sealed it just with a hairdryer. And then on the back is a little personal message for you too. Not anything like that'll make you cry, just like cute. Like you can read that out if you want to. But you can. It doesn't matter.
This.
Peach.
Sorry, I got distracted by the dates and the place.
Oh.
So, this peach tea pairs well with podcast hosts who love Taylor Swift and went to Penn State.
Yeah.
Makes sense. All that is needed to enjoy this is laughter, love, and college roommates willing to embarrass themselves for the sake of the story. That's true. That is true.
And so for
oh my
me
God,
to
this
get
is
a
so
bunch
cute,
of different
Steph.
types of alcohol to pour in there, I didn't
Too
know
much.
what everybody liked.
No,
was gonna
I
spend
love
too
your
much
idea.
money, and I didn't know how long the things would be like whatever. By the way,
love your idea.
Unsealed it today and did it today.
It doesn't matter.
And I gave you another one in case you never wanted to drink that.
Well, when you said that it was peach Snapple, I was like, I don't understand because I thought I saw one in there. So
well,
I get it now.
I figured some people might not open it ever, so if you want to drink it, you still can.
Oh my God, this is so cute. What is this? Peach.
Peach Sour Patch Kids. And my last name's gonna be Peach.
Should have known.
I'm sure you've seen this, but not for you.
I think I have, yeah.
But not the one that's specific to you.
Tell me they're on it again. Yeah. Yeah. They're on it again.
Yeah.
My boys, my shining stars. Oh my God, this is so cute.
The peaches should be
Connor's
bright.
gonna be
Some
so
peaches came out
jealous.
better than other peaches. Some people's peaches, they're not all equal. Came out different.
You know
but your
what?
cats came
My
out
cats
wonderfully.
came out really great.
Yeah, but when you put a drink in it, I think it makes it a little better.
True. Like a dark drink.
The cups are the most difficult thing to make. Everything
Oh my
else
God,
takes.
this is so awesome, Steph.
Yeah,
You did so much.
a pain in the butt.
This is so great. I mean, my answer is yes. Oh my God. Wow, maybe. I'll let Connor drink out of this sometime. But this
Too
is
bad you're
so
not one of my
great.
mess ups because I have an extra Bentley, which is Alex's dog in there, and I have an extra.
Wait, so like, what did you do for people without pets?
Good question. The only 2 people are Jenny and Alyssa, and we have an inside joke: 3 cheesecakes, 1 spoon. So I put 3 cheesecakes in a spoon.
Okay.
With peaches on it.
Okay.
And they're the only 2 that don't have a pet.
Well, that kind of works.
Justine's dog died, but I put her dead dog on it. Well, she was
An alive picture of
and she
her now
appreciated
dead dog.
that. Yeah.
No, you'd still appreciate it. Oh my God, this
Yeah.
is so cute,
But
Steph.
you and Bridget are the only ones who's the pet that I put on the actual bag.
Oh, really?
You and Bridget's I made first. Yeah, nobody else has their pet on the bag.
Wow.
Because I just felt like, I don't know, you guys, I had the idea for it first, and I made Bridget's and yours first.
Because our pets are so iconic.
Iconic pets, and I just then as I kept thinking about it, I have different design ideas for everybody.
So incredible.
But your makeup bag is my favorite of all of them.
Their little hats
The hats literally killed me, Steph.
so special. Did you get this from their Instagram?
Yeah.
I was going to say, because I think
Yeah.
I posted some. I think this was
it's reverse.
Yeah, precisely. Because I think this is the Little Brothers, Am I Right, post that Louis posted. Wow.
Yeah. And then
I love this.
The letter, and I wrote one for everybody, explains, well, the first part of it is just like me. The whole thing is word vomit. I have not proofread anybody's. I didn't read it back. I don't know if it makes sense. I don't know if there's spelling errors.
There's so much on here.
There's so much stuff. It's really just a stream of consciousness. Oh.
Okay.
I really thought, okay, goodbye. I love you.
Don't cut it out. Keep it in.
Aren't you going to your friend's birthday? Saturday
So
night?
maybe Saturday?
Shout out to Sullivan. Saturday, yeah, we said boat. Jenny and Ben are down. Bye. So the first part is just like, the first paragraph is just like whatever. Second paragraph of that is why I gave you the red album, what it means to me, us, and then the last part is why I picked that quote for you. But I feel like
I don't think I can read this right now.
No, I don't think you'll cry. Like I thought
Steph.
I was gonna get. No, I don't think you will. Because I think it starts out better than it ends. I could have done better. I could have done better, but I was really beating a clock. And well,
this is really nice. Thank you so much.
I also it's hard. So for all my girls, so I have 10 bridesmaids, so 10 Taylor Swift albums, and I'm Torture Poet, so I am the 11th. And I really thought long and hard, and I really think I nailed it on the head with who I gave each album, and so I write why.
Yeah.
The easy thing, it's both easy and difficult. The easy thing for everybody else is nobody else is as big as a Taylor Swift fan and really has peeled apart the albums as much as us.
True.
Of course, Justine loves Taylor Swift and loves her albums and whatever. And other people love it, but for me to be able to explain in a weird way how it relates to them is easier for me to do. But for you, I was like, Steph might be like, what do you mean?
Stephanie?
Yeah.
Does this friendship bracelet say ball?
I forgot.
Is he here?
I wish.
Ball and SpongeBob?
I don't know.
Where are they? Did I have them?
I don't know.
Remember Spider Ball?
Yes. Oh man, Ryan would have loved Spider Ball.
Wait, and I love that it's his color too. He was a pink. He was a
did.
pink ball.
And so Steph and I in college, freshman year,
we were having a
towards the end of the
sleepover.
year, we were having a sleepover. We were roommates, just the 2 of us, and we decided we were at CVS or something or Walmart, and you know how Walmart has those giant balls pits in the center sometimes. I feel like they don't exist anymore.
No, I don't think they do, but
They had them, and there was a pink one, and we were like, we need this, and this is our child, and we named it Ball.
Duh.
And it was the best ball.
He
And
was
then
so good.
It was literally our heart. You guys don't understand how much
Ball
bounced all over that room.
All over the hall. Because then when the boys found Ball.
The boys found Ball.
Remember Ball? We had a ball fight.
We had a ball fight.
This last night of freshman year.
Oh, crap. Did things break? I wouldn't be surprised. That thing
we might have
bounced.
been packed up enough that things didn't break, but...
And then we got Sponge Ball. which was just SpongeBob on a ball.
Yep.
And then we got Spider-Ball, which was Spider-Ball on a ball, but nothing really compares to
Wait,
Ball.
but which one did we steal from the frat?
Oh, that's a good question.
Was it
It was Sponge or Spider. It wasn't Ball.
No, we bought Ball.
Ball was a biological child.
I would like...
One was adopted.
I would like to say, did we buy 2 then? For some reason, I thought...
Ball was on its own, and then I don't know if the stealing, but we definitely stole one from somewhere.
Yeah.
So someone else had our idea.
And then we bought a 3rd?
I guess we bought a 3rd.
I could see that. I think we stole SpongeBall. Something in my heart tells me SpongeBall.
Me too.
And then maybe, did we get Spider-Ball the next year?
That's possible.
I think, did we get both of them the next year? No, I think we had 2. I think we had Sponge. Anyway.
But yeah, really important. And so when I decided that I wanted to make everything myself, which was before I was even engaged, I have a notebook, and I actually wrote down all of the friendship bracelets. I wanted to make everybody 11 each, which would mean that I would have to make 110 friendship bracelets. And then when it came down to it, the friendship bracelets take me a long ass time to make. So I cut everybody's friendship bracelets into 3, which was Peach Party, which is the one that has a little peach charm instead of bridal party, Peach Party. Your initials, and then like BM for bridesmaid. And that one's supposed to be dangly, but I made yours a little bit way too big because I ran out of pearls, so I'd use my backup pearls, and the backup pearls are huge. And then I made them their album. So like yours says Red Taylor's version. Yeah. But I had started making yours before I decided I was going to cut it to 3. So Steph, I have a list of like 10 different friendship bracelets I was going to make you.
I really love that Ball is the one that made it out of the 10.
Of like inside jokes, like, okay, then our favorite song, of a lyric, of this or that. So you got 4, and then the only other person whose I made before I cut it with a 4th was Madison, Ryan's sister, who loves Justin Bieber. So I made her a Believer one with smiley faces. Cute. But nobody
really
else.
Cute.
So you
no, I feel
lucky ones.
I feel really special, and honestly, Ball takes the cake.
But it fits because that was freshman year of college, and that's when Red came out, which is why it is assigned to you. I
totally agree.
I mean, that's the main reason, but then like I fit it to you in other ways. But then I just feel like you know what the songs mean to me already, so it was like almost more difficult for me to write why. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Because you know everything already. Like, it was fun for me to write what an album means to somebody that I don't think that they know what it really already means. So.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying because, right, like, I could read it and be like, oh, that's how you interpret this piece of red? Like, interesting. I wouldn't, but everybody else is just seeing a really nice red. I mean, I'm not going to read it like that, but.
Just to answer your burning question, so Steph was trying to fit who got what album before, and obviously you as audience don't know anybody, but Justine has folklore.
Justine has folklore.
Yeah, she's the biggest folklore girl in the entire
universe. So who has Evermore? Kathleen. Okay.
She's not close to this. She has not. And the reason Kathleen is Evermore, it just fit, but when that album came out, I remember one of the first times, not that I listened to it, but when it first came out, it was around New Year's because it was December 12th or 13th, 11th, right? It was like 2 days before Taylor's birthday. So I spent New Year's in the Poconos and with Deirdre and all her friends.
Perfect.
And Kathleen and I drove down together and listened to this album, and she had never heard the album. So we listened to the whole album on the way down and talked about it. And then we were in the woods for the Poconos, and she really liked the album. So it just makes sense. And she's like more mature. And like there's other more like personal reasons that I can then connect it to.
Yeah.
But it just like fits in my brain.
No, that makes sense.
But yeah, so Justine is folklore because she loves being depressed.
I see. Okay.
And that's like her album. Like she doesn't even like Evermore that much.
Yeah.
But then I said, listen to Tolerate It again, and she did, and she's like, you're right, I love that song. I'm like, I know it.
That's really good. Okay, that makes sense. I don't know why.
Because you would have been Red or Folklore. I would have never.
You would have put Folklore over Evermore.
For you, just because that was album
that we both got surprised at. I was coming to see you that day. Yeah.
That is the album that then like reignited and sparked
us to get back. Yeah. I got
to ultimately eventually lead us into this podcast. Now, both of us then, I think, liked Evermore more.
Right.
But I more associate, like, folklore
You're
with
definitely right, because like I said, I was literally pulling into my grandma's driveway when you were like, Taylor Swift is putting a surprise album out.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? And then, like, the next day, I was coming to you, and then we were going to the beach.
Yeah.
So, like, I remember listening to the album, like, driving to your house for the first time.
Yeah. So, but it works out perfectly. So we each have an album.
No, I'm really excited. And that's my favorite album. So it's just like...
And it's our, like...
And maybe that's why it's my favorite album, you know?
Like, we listen to that separately together.
But, like, maybe that's why I love this album so much. You know, like, the nostalgia of, like, how happy those times were.
Yeah.
Even though it's a sad as fuck album. And maybe that's why it's perfect for me. Because I love the sad girl songs, but, like, I'm generally not a sad person.
But it's not only sad. It's a little bit of everything.
True. But I was really happy when I was listening to the sad girl album. You know what I mean?
I literally wrote there, we're just a perfect contradiction.
Clearly, I didn't even read that part.
So.
Wow, Steph, thank you so much. This is so sweet. I literally.
Really excited about it.
I am so fucking pumped, and I'm gonna have to set this up nicely to put an Instagram story up later.
Now that I've unblocked you.
But
Wow.
Wow, that was so fun.
Good. I'm so happy.
Me too. I almost burped. Speaking of, like, happy things, do you want to talk about Munich?
Oh, yeah. I guess we should get into it. First thing, what we said last time we were together, it was post-Ireland, pre-Munich. So I went on my 30th birthday, July 27th, my fiance and I, we went to the Munich concert, and Munich N1, and it was truly, first of all, the best trip in the world, from going to Hungary to Munich to Salzburg. But everything went perfectly and smoothly. I feel like I was worried the whole time that something was going to go wrong. Seems a little insensitive to say, but just putting that away for now. I'm just in a box right now of my experience. So we ended up, first of all, I made my own outfit. I think I said it last time, and I put on my dress, it was the Torture Pose dress, and I printed, just like I made all this stuff, like, it's my birthday. I also made did a So High School lyric, and then I put in red letters, like a little secret message. Like, I love you, Ryan Peach. It was like ILYRGP or something, like his initials. Even though, like, only Ryan would know who's looking at my dress that closely, but I was like, Ryan, love, to make him, like, figure out the secret code. I did, in the age of him, she was 30, because I was 30. Like, I did all my favorite lyrics and then birthday stuff. So we get there, and the big thing was, we cannot be late, because we need to see Paramore. That's half of the reason that we went, is Ryan wanted to see Paramore.
Yeah.
And we end up getting there later than we wanted to, but literally, like, we walked in. There was it was just so confusing. It was like no security. We walked into the first thing. It was just so minimal. I was so confused.
Wait, that reminds me, because it reminds me of something that happened at the Dublin show. Did you, like for me,
show your ticket? Yeah.
We didn't even have a person scan it. It was like just the gate. You know, like it was like scanning at the robot, basically, then go through.
Nobody scanned anything.
Right. Okay. No, I mean like there wasn't a person with the little clicker to be like, go ahead. It was like just us three at the gate, scanning one, go in, scanning two, like, you know.
How is it? So my stadium, we walked from the train station, and we were at the top. Like, I didn't have to walk upstairs. It just, the ground was up. It's almost like half of it was underground. I don't really know, but we were at the top. So it was not like walking into a MetLife or anything like that, where you kind of see the stadium above you. We were already up there, and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm this close. Why did I get a ticket? I can fully see into the stadium right now.
Well, Munich was the one that
and I'm
had
talking
the
about
crazy,
the direct opposite of the hill. So I saw the hill from where I was standing, if that makes sense.
That's so cool.
So I had like a direct view of the top of the hill. It looked like Whoville. So
that's literally so cool.
So the opposite. So I'm at the top of that part, and it was like the top was level with the ground. Like, it went up a little bit, but like one section up. So there was no big gates to get in. It was literally just people standing there, and like the the things that you walk through that like spin.
Yeah.
There was no electronic anything, and they were like, oh yeah, just put your water down. I was like, okay. And then I think they did not look at our tickets. They wanded us, and then did not look in my bag, but I had a little fanny pack. And then we were in the stadium, like in the stadium where there was merch, there was drinks, there was food, and not one human looked. I didn't have to have my phone out. No, I was there. And then to get to my seat, there were doors, but like plastic-ish doors, like you could easily take them down. And I went in the exit, and they're like, no. They're like, you have to go the other way. Like there's an in and out. I was like, okay. Oh. And then they were like, get your ticket. And I think then to get in, I don't remember if they scanned it or not, but they did look at both of my tickets. I'm sure they scanned it.
Yeah, that must. Well, because.
But like my point though is, I fully could have went completely into this area.
Yeah.
Had drinks and whatever, and stood there and still seen. Or been super close to seeing the concert.
It must have just been the layout of the stadium. Because, I mean, we didn't have to go up because we were in 100 level seats. So I think when we just went in, we were at the right section. You know what I'm saying? Like but we definitely wouldn't. We scanned the ticket like to get into concessions, merch, things like that. I think I didn't even see a merch stand, to be honest.
I was really thrown.
Right, because then we didn't do any sort of scanning when we went to our seats, because we had one ticket in a different spot, and I was like, this is where we might get in trouble. But they didn't even. They were like, what section? And I was like 109. And they're like, oh yeah, it's right there. And I was like, okay. So I guess the stadium just must have been set up so interesting.
Wild. And we walked right in, 0 lines. Wasn't the case for the whole stadium, which we found out later.
Yeah.
So the people that walked in where that hill was that everybody, I think, famously probably saw.
So cool.
There was apparently a crazy line because we met people the next day in Salzburg, and they said, like, they missed Paramore. And I was like, well, thank God we didn't walk in on that side of the stadium. Yeah, seriously. I would have been so heartbroken. Like, yeah. I don't think I would have been able to enjoy the show if we missed Paramore because, like, Ryan would have been so devastated. But we got in. Our seats were so close because the stadium is small. Yeah. I mean, maybe not as close as you guys were, but from where I thought we bought the tickets, I thought we were going to be higher up. Yeah. And it was the perfect view. Because when we went last year, we were on the floor, 4th row, which you really can't beat that, by the piano. Yeah. Right? So on that side of the stage. Then when I went 2 days later, we were in the absolute dead center in the 100s. Yeah. So center view. And so then this time we were on the other side, essentially in the 100s. Yeah. Like what would have been the top of the 100s. And we had a view of the cleaning cart. We got to watch Hayley Williams and all of Paramore walk in and out and wave to them. And then we got to see Taylor Swift, and we got to wave to her walking in and out. Yeah. And so then we got to see from the other side of the stage. It was like, I don't know, I just loved it. Was so cool. And so we go to take pictures and everything. And before we went in, I said to Brian, I'm like, I'm gonna make my Instagram public because it's my birthday. I just like, if you're in the picture with me, Rye, especially your shirt, it's my birthday. There's a song that they're promoting as a single that literally says it's my birthday. They're gonna Taylor Nation's reposting me. Like, I just know it. And Ryan's like, okay, that's a little like, don't be disappointed if you don't. I'm like, Ryan, I have a feeling. And so we get the picture. And then I make him take another picture of me where you see that it's my birthday. I was like, I'm going to try twice. Just, you never know. Yeah. So I post my stories. I make sure that I say, like, it's actually my birthday or whatever. I put the song. I do everything I need to do. And then I put my phone in airplane mode for the rest of the show. Mm-hmm. Once we get out of the show, and first of all, there's no service even when I went to my car. Yeah. So nothing was loading. Even when we were leaving. I had like a regular amount of notifications on Instagram and my cell phone because it was my birthday. Like, it was like 14 notifications. Yeah. So I was like, no, okay, I don't know. But it wouldn't like refresh. And then all of a sudden, I have like a billion notifications. Like the service kicked in, and I said, no way. And Ryan's like trying to figure the GPS out. We're like in a foreign country. It's raining. Yeah. And I'm like shut up, Ryan. I think Taylor Nation reposted me. He's like, what? I'm like, it won't load because it wasn't like loading for me to actually see. I'm like,
oh my God, I'm dead.
So I'm like doing it, I'm refreshing it, and I'm like, oh my God, and I see a DM from Taylor Nation. And I'm like, they reposted me, and Ryan is like,
oh my God,
mad
it's so
at me because I'm
good.
screaming.
Yep.
He's like, why are you screaming? I'm like, Taylor Nation.
You don't
reposted me.
understand.
And I was like, oh my God, was it the picture of me or is it both of us? I hope it was both of us because it just was taking forever to load. And of course, it was a picture of Ryan and I.
Yep.
Ryan and me. And, oh my God, I was on cloud 9.
Amazing.
I can't explain it. I feel famous. And then I kicked myself for not putting it on our podcast, Instagram.
Whatever. We don't use it
Part
anyway.
of me thought maybe they wouldn't have reposted it
I agree.
if they saw that it was like a podcast. Like,
I agree.
I don't know. It is what it is. But I just was overjoyed. And like I went and I looked. I had thousands and thousands.
So amazing.
Not thousands. I forget how many thousand views on like the. I don't know how people just got to my story and not the stories before it. But like it was like I had a significant increase. It was like 800, 3,000 on the one. But there was some, I don't understand how people skipped to the one that Taylor Nation reposted, but they somehow did.
Well, I think you could probably just click it from Taylor Nation.
And then some people went,
And then some people
that
maybe
makes
went
sense.
through it all
Went through it all.
to see if there was more, and others were probably just saw it.
Yeah.
And I guess.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, do you have to click it from Taylor Nation, or do you get the? No, it would have been way more than 3,000 if you got the view on yours.
No, I did not get the Taylor Nation.
Yeah.
It was only a few thousand.
No, right. So yeah, they must have clicked it, and
and then however many DMs I got, every single one of them asked where most of them said happy birthday.
Love.
Every single one, save for like 3 or 4 of them, asked me where I got Ryan's shirt from.
So funny.
And I knew. Like,
yeah.
Like
I mean, it's a great
that's
shirt.
Why I wanted Ryan in the picture with me.
Yes.
Because I was like, I need Ryan in the picture. I feel like it gives a little like diversity.
An added element of a guy.
A guy.
Yep.
He's kind of Travis Kelce-esque.
And he's wearing a big Taylor
like
Swift
big
merch.
Guy, like a big football-looking guy that you know, and the cool Taylor Swift shirt that I've literally never seen anybody else have.
Right.
And nobody made a Travis Kelce comment. Actually, in Munich, somebody did in real life.
Love it.
But I thought more people would DM me and be like, oh my God, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. No one said that. Just in my heart. But everyone asked, and it doesn't exist on Etsy anymore, but then I did find it. You have to like Google like Taylor Swift Hawaiian shirt, and it does still exist on just another website if anybody's ever looking for it. But then people were also like asking me like how to like download tickets. I don't know, like random things. But it was so
like random things for like how to get into the concert.
Yeah, for like their concert in like Vienna, they were asking me about.
Okay.
They were like, what app and stuff. I'm like, Germany uses this app. There was like, and then somebody asked me, it was really sweet. They were like, I want to get my hair and makeup done. I'm going to Munich tomorrow, but everything seems like it's closed. Like, where do you know a place I can get my hair and makeup done? And I was like, I literally Googled it for her because I didn't know. I was like, I looked up all these places.
Wait, like, I'm really laughing at that. like all of the logistic and admin questions you were getting.
Yeah,
like, why were they doing that to everybody that they were reposting?
I don't know. I have no idea. But I felt like I had to answer everybody, so I did.
That's so nice of you.
I literally screenshotted like the website where I found Ryan's shirt and sent it to everyone.
Shirt, I understand.
Like I was gonna post on my story like an influencer, like for anybody asking, they don't sell it on Etsy anymore, but here's a link.
No, I meant like the shirt one. I totally get. I just more so meant like, I can't believe people were just asking random person that was reposted by Taylor Nation, like, where did you get like. Not, did you get your hair and makeup?
Yeah, which I clearly didn't. Like,
but like, I mean, like, it wasn't like did you get your hair and makeup done?
Yeah.
It was.
She's like, I'm on the plane right now.
Where do you think I can get my hair and makeup done?
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm from the United States.
What app did you use?
Yeah.
It's probably different.
Yeah.
Living on the show.
And then there was another one too. I just had it, but it wasn't. Oh, this made more sense. I forget.
That is so.
It might have been another Munich night too. And they just asked me what seat I had because I wanted to know what the view was.
Get it.
And theirs was actually 3 sections over, so I was like, you're actually going to be more dead center to the diamond for where they were. So
okay.
And then they told me the row, and I'm like, and a little bit closer.
Got it.
I was like, their seats are technically a little better than what ours were. But it was like, I was like, I'm like, is this what it's like to be famous? Because the messages kept coming and coming, and it really obviously probably wasn't that much compared to what famous people get per day.
I mean, they must have to turn them off.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so like with the influx of messages, did you feel like you don't want to be famous anymore, or did you love it?
Oh, it was both. It was a little of everything.
Okay.
Because Ryan's like, I'm like, well, you have to keep driving, because we drove like 2 hours to Salzburg the next day. I'm like, I gotta answer my fans.
True.
And my DMs. And we had a drive, so I was excited to do it, but in any other normal circumstance,
yeah,
I would not have been. And I then went back private like 2 days later after like the stories expired.
Yeah, I gotcha.
But it wasn't like, I felt naked having my profile public. I was literally nervous.
Yeah, I mean,
I was having nightmares that my students were finding my
especially, well, I guess all boys school, it's not like, but I mean, like,
no,
if
they could have seen it, and I thought about that, but I was like fine with, there's nothing bad on my profile.
Right. No, I just more so meant like you would have 100% gotten, seen screenshots of your Instagrams passed around if it was a girl, or like, a co-ed school. Co-ed.
Yes.
I don't know if that's the right word.
Yeah, no,
but
it is.
I mean, it is, but it doesn't sound right to me.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like boys may have not.
Yeah.
Unless they were avid Taylor Swift fans and happened to be looking at Taylor Nation, you might have escaped.
And even if those that are Taylor Swift fans, which
like, are they on Taylor Nation?
Are they going to be looking at every single story?
Exactly.
And if they're looking at every story, are they going to register? I had sunglasses on, I think. Like,
also,
are they going to register that that's
in
me?
general too, like, you know how like Instagram's weird with like whose stories you get.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get Taylor Nation stories.
Right.
I have, like, when you said you were, or, like, I think maybe you reposted that they did it, and I was like, wait, what? So then I went, and then I was like, Jesus Christ. Like, because then I was, like, just clicking through to find you. So, like, right, it's, again, if there was girls in your school, 100%.
Yeah. But I still would have done it. But, yeah,
for sure.
The cool thing was, too, people that I follow that saw it on Taylor Nation before they saw my posts that sent me.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, my God. Like, my cousin Catherine, my cousin Megan, and then a girl that I went to high school with that was my brother's age sent it to me. She was like, what the fuck?
That's so exciting.
It's me. I'm famous. But I also loved it because everything was positive. If I got one like slightly negative comment, I would have like,
if anybody did that on shit like that, I would be so mad at the world.
People started liking all my posts.
Oh, nice.
Which was nice, but I noticed a chunk of people only liked all my Taylor Swift posts, which I looked, I'm like, oh, it's not that difficult. It's not that much of a scroll to see. Because there's one I posted on Ryan's birthday, and it's Ryan and I, and then you go down and in May, and it's us, and I'm like, oh, I could see people giving me shit, because that was my third.
What do you mean?
Concert. People get mad at Americans for going to Europe.
Honestly, no, whatever.
But anyway, I wouldn't have been able to handle the fame. My 10 minutes of fame. It was great. But
it's so wild.
So that was amazing. The concert itself, Paramore came out, and Ryan cried.
Aww.
And it was really sweet because, like, obviously, like, I cried when the first time when Taylor Swift came out, like, lost it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been wanting to see them since middle school, so they came out.
I love that.
I have it on video, and I go, "Are you crying?" Because we had enough space because a lot of people weren't there yet. So he jumped up 2 rows, and I jumped up 1 row, and like gave him space to dance. And I was recording him, and he's like crying, and you see him crying, and it's so sweet.
Oh, that's so cute.
And then they playing. The only exception was beautiful, and like we were like arm in arm for that. And it's been known that she does not play Misery Business. Like, she doesn't. And so I told Ryan that going into it. I'm like, she has played it before, Ryan.
Yeah, she doesn't do it all the time.
Taylor Swift asked her to.
Yeah.
So she doesn't play it. So, and he's like, okay. And then he said, he's like, on our way there, the drive from Hungary to Munich was 7 hours, but it probably was 8 from like stops.
Okay.
So the way we drove was we listened to a Taylor Swift album and then a Paramore album. Taylor Swift, Paramore. And he's like,
nice.
This isn't fair. All of her albums are like 30 songs. I was like,
true.
That's what it is. We got a lot of time. So he was saying on that, He's like, I'll die happy if I hear Misery Business live. And I'm like, Rye, come on, you're making me sad. You know you're not going to hear it. He's like, no, I know. I'm just saying it. And then she gave this long speech. She's like, are you guys ready to rock? And I'm thinking she's just going to play, like, Ain't It Fun or any song.
Mm-hmm.
And she, like, makes everybody put a rock and roll sign. And she goes, and if you really need to. And she made everybody put the rock and roll sign on her head. And then, like, us go up and down. It was cool. She's like, are you guys ready to rock? And then it starts. And I look at Ryan. I'm like, is this? And I'm like, no, it can't be. Because, like, I didn't want to get excited. But you hear it. And then Misery Business starts playing. And, like, the excitement in Ryan's eyes, and I was excited too, literally jumping up and down. Aww. Tears in his eyes, like grabbing me, and I'm like, oh my god,
so cute.
He played Misery Business, and he was crying from that.
Aww.
He did not stop crying, like through the whole set basically. So that itself made my night, like seeing his happiness, because I know how he feels.
So yeah, he feels. Oh, of course. Oh, and that's so great.
And then, of course, Taylor Swift comes out. Everything's amazing. The whole set, everything is different. Okay, did this happen to you during Willow? Balloons everywhere? Because all of a sudden there are balloons hitting me in the head.
No, that's a new one that started after. Okay. And then it got controversial real quick. Yes. I was going to say that started after Dublin. I don't remember where it started. But people liked it for like a week. And then they were like, wait, there's people that like can't go to the show anymore.
Yeah.
Because they're allergic to latex. So then people tried to stop it. Yeah. But they did not do. The trend didn't start before my show.
Well, it was in full throttle for. Ryan's like, look, and I'm like, literally, I'm
so
like,
good.
Where did I didn't get the memo. Everybody had a freaking orange and yellow balloon with their light. And then for the rest of the concert, they were just throwing them at people. So I just kept
balloons
smacking them down.
Everywhere.
Kind of annoying. I didn't know. I was very confused.
They've changed. I think some people have done it recently with like the lantern, paper lantern thing, that you can get, which I believe everyone's a lot more on board for in terms of like no allergies.
Yeah.
And like, then you don't just start throwing them all over the place.
Yeah. The fan projects are getting a little out of hand.
I think people are just trying to be
creative and get their attention.
And we can talk about the signs, which ridiculous, but whatever. I mean, we'll get to all that, but
the only other two things I want the surprise songs.
Well, and
obviously the new set.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
Tell me.
So, just right before it though, all of a sudden there's lightning behind Taylor Swift. So I'm like, oh, Taylor didn't see it. As if like Taylor makes a call to cancel a show. I'm like, she didn't see it. It's fine.
No,
But it's like maybe Folklore. I don't even remember the order, but it's like relatively early on, and I was like, God, no, please. I'm literally sitting there praying. So there's about 2 sets, and it's heat lightning. So there's no thunder, there's no rain. You know when it's like heat lightning and it just flashes seemingly in the same spot, like a lot.
Okay.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about?
I guess I know what you mean by heat lightning, but I guess I don't know that it flashes in the same spot or whatever.
I didn't see a strike in it, but it was the same area. Just literally right behind, like I'm here, it's like right behind Taylor's head.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh my God. I'm pretty sure if there's lightning,
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
I think that's like a thing.
Or you have to delay.
Until it goes away. And for 2 sets, and I'm anxiety. I'm like, okay. I just want to hear Torture Poets and the surprise songs.
Right.
But that's like towards the end. So 1989.
Oh my God, so true.
And I'm like, all right, Steph, just enjoy it. And it stopped for a little bit during 1989. But like, I'm not kidding. Whatever's before 1989, I was like,
it's folk. I think it's Folkmore.
Yeah. 0 focus on the set. I mean, I shouldn't say that.
Yeah.
Like, I remember every detail, but like, my heart was pounding.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this isn't good. And I'm like looking around, I'm like, all right, it's still going on. And by the way, a lot of people sit. I don't know if that's a Europe thing. I don't know, whatever, but like all 10 minutes, totally seated.
Oh, we didn't have that.
Folkmore, totally seated.
Wait, you're kidding?
Yeah.
We didn't have that. And I don't know if it's like a section. That's what I was going to say. I don't know if it's a section by section thing, because like we'd sit in between, but then everybody stood up. But I don't know if it's because people in front of you stood up, so you have to.
Right.
Like maybe.
Well, that's why I sat during Folklore, because there was a little girl behind us.
Yeah.
And I sat and I was like, I'm okay with sitting. Like, I could still really get into it. And
Oh, yeah.
literally everybody was sitting, and I was fine with it because of where we were. But, like, I almost felt guilty sitting. Whatever. People were sitting, and then I finally, like, during 1989, everybody gets back up.
Yeah.
But then everybody sat during the surprise songs, too.
Oh, that's weird.
And a lot during Tortured Poets, and I was like, I'm not sitting. Like,
Oh,
I don't give
that's
a
so
shit.
weird.
I literally didn't.
Yeah, no, I mean,
weird.
yeah, no, we stood the whole show. Besides in between, yeah.
So, anyway, I was having anxiety through a few sets because of the lightning, and then we got to Tortured Poets, and okay, it was amazing. Like, the only thing I'm sad about is our seating for Down Bad. I didn't get to see the spaceship. I didn't like realize that I wouldn't be able to see it from where I sat.
Oh, I gotcha.
And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I was really excited to see it. I like, didn't understand.
Yeah,
that
because it looks
just
cool.
A visual.
Yeah.
But it was so good, and like I love Who's Afraid of Little Me. I love High School. I love But Daddy, I Love Him, and Down Bad are some of my tops. I love Smallest Man Who Ever Lived, but it was not in my like top 10 or whatever. But I knew I was gonna like love it. That was my favorite part of the whole thing.
Yeah.
It was insane.
That's what. Remember how I told you I
Yeah.
had a 9-second thing because I was like, I have to stop recording this. I can't. Like, I have to like watch this, and like the waving the white flag in the back, like it was incredible. But I totally agree with you. Like, of all the songs she plays in that set, that might be my least favorite one.
Right.
Or maybe
it was. Now it's not.
Yeah. No, I know. I was like, no, this is the best thing I've ever seen.
It was
like,
amazing. And like, I remember the very first time that I watched the live stream, the first time she did the set, I genuinely was like, oh, at first, like, oh, Smallest Man Who Ever Lived. Like, I would never have guessed that in 1,000 years.
Yeah.
Billion, trillion years. And now I'm like, it makes so much sense.
I think
it's
one of the things for Smallest Man, too, though, is like, any video I've seen of it doesn't do it justice on, like, the scale of it all. Like I get, like, you can tell, obviously, they're marching to drums and stuff, but, like, you just don't see the grand scale of it
right
in video, I feel like. And I also feel that way kind of a little bit about, like, But Daddy, I Love Him, because, like, I loved the road that, like, was on the stage, which, like, you could see in videos, but, like, it just looked so much cooler. And, like, I don't know what it is about their dancing during that one, but, like, when they start the clapping, I love it. I'm like, this is the fucking best choreography I've ever seen, and it's just them, like, happily clapping.
You literally, like, feel the camaraderie. I don't even know what it is.
No, I know.
I just, like, feel like we're all there.
I know. And then, like, even, like, for Fortnite, it's, like, you're watching them, and I'm like, God.
The bed thingy majig.
Yes,
is
and
so
how
cool.
he's, like, not falling off.
Yeah.
Somehow, I'm like, this is so incredible.
It's so incredible.
And, like, and I totally understand what you're saying about Down Bad, because Down Bad looks really cool because of the spaceship, and it's like the spotlight of the spaceship following her around the stage. So I get, like, the spaceship is a very key part of that.
Yeah. But it was still awesome, and all the beam of lights were so cool, but I was like, oh shit, I didn't, like, realize.
Yeah.
Like, thinking about it, it's like, no, duh, that was the screen. But I didn't realize I wouldn't.
And when her face goes like zombie at the end of Who's Afraid of Little Old Me, I'm like, this is what? Like, I'm like, this is crazy.
Like, whoa, what had happened?
Like, just so she knocked it out of the park.
Oh God.
With Tortured Poets, it was
amazing. And then, of course, during I Could Do It with a Broken Heart, I kept, like, shouting, "It's my birthday!" And then, like, a girl behind me tapped me, and she's like, and, like, grabbed my phone for us to take a picture, and it was actually so sweet, but I was very confused if we were videoing or taking a picture, so it was awkward. And then she did a picture, and in my head I was like, I don't even want to do this.
Yeah.
But, like, she was being so nice, because I think she recognized it was my birthday. And, like, I don't know, but I was like, I just want to watch it. So, like, there was, like, a good minute that we, like, just didn't.
Honestly, now that I think about it, I Can Do It with a Broken Heart might be my least favorite part of the Tortured Poets set.
Smallest Man to that, I love.
No, the skit. Yeah, love. One of my favorite parts. But I think once the song actually starts, I'm like, all right, surprise song's next.
Yes.
Like, let's go. Like, literally. You know what I mean? But I do think it, and people pointed this out before I went to the show too, like in TikToks and stuff, but like, the way she does have so much choreography in that song that is different eras throughout the show
I've
is like a really cool thing.
I didn't like
I didn't notice it when I was there, and I didn't remember that I saw that, but it is a cool thing to look back on and be like, that is kind of like she's performing a mini Eras tour within that song, so it is cool, but like I'm always like, well, I was just like, okay, like surprise songs next. Right. But I love this skit.
Yes. Like, and literally, too, that's what I was thinking at that moment, too. Like, I kept seeing the lightning, and I'm like, oh, okay, just get to the surprise songs.
Yeah.
You can cancel it after the surprise songs if you need to.
I don't need Midnights, I guess. Yeah.
Like, I wanted it, but I was like, I just need these surprise songs. So, surprise songs happen, and on the guitar, it's funny when you start playing a song. Like, when we had Jack Antonoff and Taylor Swift, I think we immediately knew it was Getaway Car, because it's like, once you see Jack, you know it's going to be that. And she
hadn't played it yet, and that was when she was still not.
And when she did Maroon, like, you could hear in the video, I'm like, is it Maroon? So
yeah, because remember when it was like the lower note, I was like, I think it's Maroon. And also New York, you know.
And prior to that, she's like, I wrote this about, like, the whatever she had said, like, I guess that
she said, she was like, this is from Midnights, I think, or something like that. And she's like, I've never played it live.
Long time ago.
Right.
I was like, is it Maroon?
Yeah.
And then it was. So aside from those, and then when she played Clean night 3, her speech, I knew it was clean. So I, like, in my recording, I'm like, it's clean. She's playing clean, like a good 15 seconds before she played it. Aside from that, it's really wild. Like, even watching them, if I don't know what I'm watching on the TV, it's really wild how, like, you could start singing a song and you don't know what it is. No fucking idea what you're singing, but you know the song. Happened to me when it was Welcome to New York, because I was like, because I was sad that it was Welcome to New York. I
love seeing videos like that, because I've seen a couple now where someone's like, or it'll be like your favorite song, and they'll just like start singing it, and they're just like, and then, like, you know, you can see the eyes, like, what am I singing? Yeah. And it's like, oh my God, you know, like, getting like, so excited. And I'm like, know what it is. Yeah.
So that happened to me. So I immediately start singing, and I'm like singing it, and Ryan's like, what song is this? And I was
don't know.
It's, oh my God, it's Fresh Out the Slammer. And then I start laughing to myself, and as I'm like thoroughly enjoying, so happy, and I'm like, that's so funny. That's my least favorite song on the album, and I'm having a great time.
Yeah, yeah. So. Well, that's what I feel like we said from the start. Yeah. Or, because I remember, like, saying, like, before our show, I was like, if we get something, I don't necessarily, well, because we kept saying we might get Welcome to New York.
Right.
I was like, to be fair, like, I feel like even if it's a song I'm not necessarily, like, in love with, I feel like it'll give me a new appreciation for it, which I will say, like, I never loved The Lucky One, but when she mashed up with Clara Bow, I was like, okay, like, I have a new appreciation for The Lucky One, like, and I feel like it's one of those things where it's like, okay, would I have loved to get, like, a deep cut that I'm obsessed with, like Hoax, right? Like, you never know when she's gonna play Hoax, so, like, if that happened, would I be like, whoa, this is, like, the best thing ever? Like, yeah, of course, but at the same time, it's like, it almost is better to get the songs sometimes that you're not thrilled about, because then it's like, no, now I can say I saw this live and I am obsessed with it.
Totally agree, because one, that happened to me with Welcome to New York, and with Fresh Out the Slammer. And now what I will say is, I did, whether this was on air or off air, because, like, make no mistake, I still stand true with what I said by the production of that song angers me. It angers me. I never said I disliked the lyrics of the song. Yeah. Like, I would put a bet if we went back to that, I would say, like, one of my least favorite, all the way at the bottom. Like, and I very heavily critiqued the production. Yeah. The very first time I listened to it, and when we were talking about it. Because I love the concept, I love everything, and I did say at one point, I just don't know if it was on the podcast or just in conversation, that, like, I think if I heard it acoustically, I would like it a lot better. Because I don't like the production, and then I especially hate the change up at the end.
The end is weird still to me. Yeah.
And so,
although I will say, like, it has grown on me, because it hasn't, was never one of my, like, favorite ones either, but, like, I have, like, when I finally put the album on shuffle and, like, wasn't sure what was starting, and, like, the rolling thunder, and, like, I'm like, I like this, you know, so it has grown on me. Yeah, exactly.
And so I was like, okay, no, I remember, like, in my brain being like, no, I'm like, even when I realized what it was, I, like, giggled, because I was like, I'm actually happy. Like, I'm happy that this is what it is. And then, you guys, She switched to You Are in Love.
Yeah.
And within seconds, I have the video I'll show you. Because I haven't watched it back yet.
Yeah.
So the switch up, I literally, mouth agape, hand shaking, started bawling my eyes out. I don't know what the fuck came over me.
That is so funny.
But that song, first of all.
I love that song.
Yeah, like, I love that song. I don't think it's ever been in, like, conversation as, like, one of my tops of all time. It definitely is, but it's just kind of one of those that I think all of us love.
Yeah.
Equally. Like, everybody's like, this is one of her most, if not the most romantic song. And it's not even about her personal life.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. And I love it. And, like, her playing that, standing next to Ryan, made it 10 times. Like, would I have bawled my eyes out if I was standing next to you?
Right.
I don't know.
I agree.
Maybe. Like, maybe. Because I still love that song. But it just something made me lose my fucking mind. Like,
cute.
Bawled my eyes out. And not even, I don't know, guys. It was crazy. It was
so cute.
Oh, my God. It was beautiful. Also, though, I thought everybody was going to do the 1989, like, you could hear it in the silence, silence, silence. You know, the echo. I was the only one doing it. No, one of the only ones doing it. I was like, oh, you know how some, like, the Evermore?
Yeah.
When people do that?
Yeah. And Exile. Yeah.
But I guess this is different. It's not a viral moment. So unless you watch the 1989 tour, like, a lot, which I guess I do, you wouldn't necessarily know that.
Yeah.
So I was by myself going, silent, away home. But, okay, that was so incredible. And then, like, I was already happy with Fresh Out the Slammer, even though it was my least favorite. But then she mashed it up with You Are in Love. So that immediately was like, holy shit, that was the most amazing thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
And I also got a DM. I don't know how this person found me. It must have been after I posted it on our podcast. DM'd me and said, hey, I remembered you said on your podcast that this is one of your least favorite songs. I wonder how you feel that you got it
Fresh Out the Slammer.
As a surprise
oh my God, wait, that's so cute.
Like, damn. Because she messaged me on my personal account and I replied to her. And then I made my account private, so I don't actually know if she was able to, like, see it. But I was like, wow, that girl pays attention. And especially knowing that it was me and not you. Like, she knew the difference between us. So that means she had to have watched us.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's true.
Good for her. That's amazing. Like, shout out to you. Hope you're listening. Sorry if I did reply to you, but I'm sorry if you couldn't reply back.
You could probably figure it out on, like, TikToks, though, too.
That's
like,
true.
if you ever watch, or, like, Instagram, like, if you watched our videos.
She knows our voices.
Yeah,
but I just need to know our voices. Yeah. But she was right. I mean, regardless.
Yeah. I mean, it's still impressive.
I was really impressed. And I'm like, that's so
when
cool
you have two people with the same name.
Yeah, it's tough.
It seems like it could easily be confused.
But, yeah, that was another DM I got. And I'm like, oh, my God, that's so funny that she, like, remembered that in that moment to be like, she got Fresh Out the Slammer and she didn't like that.
Yeah.
But, no, it made me love the song, and now I listen to it more.
Love.
I still am like, ugh, with the production, but I get excited to hear it. And then she did Ivy.
That's right. I couldn't remember.
Which I've never heard live before, and I love Ivy. That's
Me too.
Love. And she meshed it with Call It What You Want. And love that song. And literally right before we got to the concert, we were listening to Reputation and Call It What You Want played. And I said, she hasn't played this as a surprise song in a while. I could see us getting it. And we literally got it.
That's crazy. I love that song. I love Ivy and Call It What You Want a lot.
And what's interesting is both those songs are mashups of, like, cheater-ish songs with, like,
and then
really
a really
love song.
True love song. Yeah.
Just something to think about. I just thought it was interesting.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't think it means anything in her personal life. It could, but I do think she did that intentionally. Of having
for sure, the same vibes. Yeah.
Yeah. The camera died, but we're here and we're alive and we're back and we're better than ever. We were talking about the surprise songs. Yeah. I think what we had just said, like, how it was interesting, just that it was like the cheaterish song.
Yes.
Oh, and I was saying how she made
Ivy
Call It What You Want somehow was a love song and took out the cheater parts. But I have to look up the lyrics. I just remembered she was like,
no, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
If she doesn't like when she references the husband or like, but it belongs to another, you know, like I think she says something like that. Like if she doesn't mention those, it's
a love song. And I always, the first time I listened to that
that's
song,
what I was gonna say. I feel like some
oh,
people,
it's a beautiful love song.
And if you're not listening to lyrics, or like deeply
thing.
to the, like, right.
What I heard the first time I ever heard that song was, my pain fits in the palm of your freezing hand.
I'm covered in you.
And now I'm covered in you. I'm like, oh, that's beautiful. Like, I didn't get the whole thing until I really looked at the lyrics. So I'm like giggling to myself because I'm like, wow, like, this is the way I originally thought of the song. And now Taylor heard it too. And
kind of doing it that way too. Yeah.
Oh, it was like, fuck, I think, call it what you want. Call it, my babies fit like, oh, this is how she ended it. Fit like a dream. I'm the one he's walking to. Now I'm covered.
Oh, cute. I love that. That's good.
And I'm like, oh my God. Beautiful.
That's really good. Yeah.
And I thought about before we went to the show, I was like, should I make like a little TikTok compilation of Ryan and I to Cornelia Street when we got on stage and we sang it, him proposing and all this stuff, and say like, oh, Taylor, 30th birthday Munich, please play Cornelia Street it'll be my 30th birthday, my fiance and I, we just got engaged, this is our song, and like a little compilation. Obviously there's a huge chance she would never see it, but I was gonna like tag Cam Saunders, who has actually liked our TikTok before, so it would most likely pop up on his. And I was going back and forth, like, okay, I like had started making it one day, and I'm like, I can make this cute and sweet, and we really have a lot of content for Ryan and I to this song. And even though our big long car ride, Ryan had said like, are you gonna do it? And I was making friendship bracelets for both of us, and I ended up not, like, something pulled me away from doing it, and I kind of just said like, you know, if it's meant to happen, it'll happen, that she'll play Cornelia Street. But if I do this, I'm gonna have more of like a hope that it will happen, and then be disappointed if it doesn't.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'd rather just hear what I'm supposed to hear. Yep. And not whatever. And I'm so happy that I did that, because it is like kind of what you said about like, if you heard Hoax, like if I heard Cornelia Street, I would literally die and have fallen on the floor and like passed away and like been like, holy shit, the stars are aligned. But like, I got to hear 4 songs, 3 of which I've never heard in my life. Call It What You Want's only one because of Reputation. Yeah. But I heard Call It What You Want in a totally different way. And like, I didn't have an appreciation for that song then the way that I do now, especially mashed up with that. Yeah. And Fresh Out the Slammer was a song I didn't particularly like, and now I don't know, I just was like, happy with the fact that I didn't end up doing that, because I'm like, I could have been so disappointed if I had done that, and then like, she didn't play it. Right. Yeah. Like, I wouldn't have been able to hear the mashups that.
No, I mean, I think that makes sense, and I also I feel like I've been in this camp since the start of like, I genuinely don't understand how people get upset and like disappointed at any surprise song they get. Like, it just makes no sense to me. Like, you're there for the whole concert. Right. It's not just these 2 songs. And I understand that that's the part that like is the only thing that's different. So like, it's the one thing that, you know, is going to be different for your show. But like, I just don't understand how like, even if it's a song you don't love, it's not like exciting to hear it live. Like, literally, unless you've heard it live.
Acoustic, by the way.
Yeah.
I love.
It's never going to sound the same as it does on the album. Like, on an album it's on. So like, I've never understood how people get upset.
Yeah. No, I get both sides. Like, I understand how people can get upset. Not that it's justified, because I'm totally with you, but just in the sense of like what I just said about Cornelia Street. Yes. You put so much like, I hope it's this, I hope it's this, I hope it's this, that you literally like make yourself believe it. And so anything else that you hear, you get that disappointment. And I was like, I'm freeing myself of that. Like, I don't even want, because you're right. It's so stupid. I loved everything that I heard. I'm so happy with everything that I heard. And so I think that, like, I understand how people could feel disappointed, because I could have done it to myself. Right. Do you know what I mean? Like,
for sure.
Like, but I also, well, 2 things. First of all, the German Swifties were so nice. Like, everybody that talked to us was so sweet, wanted to chat up a conversation. So sweet. In MetLife, nobody ever traded friendship bracelets with me. People were trading, gave me a friendship bracelet, but I made 4 for myself that are like really personal. So a girl gave me one, and I was like, I don't have it. I literally have 4 on my, I'm like, I don't, because it says like my birthday on it. It's Cornelia Street for Ryan and I. I could have traded the Torture Poets, but I made that for myself because of all the ones I made for my bridesmaids. Oh, but I could have made that one, and then Sparkling Summer. I should have given her one of those, but I didn't. But she gave me $19.99, and then some person from 10 rows back saw Ryan's shirt and whipped it at him and was like, I like your shirt, and gave him
So
a Junior
funny.
Jules one. And I was like,
Oh, that's great.
So, like, I don't know, like, I know trading happens at every show, but I just didn't experience that at any of the shows I was at MetLife, and it was so sweet seeing it, and they were so nice, and it was so sweet. But there shouldn't be a but to that. This is a little bit of a but, I guess. I do feel like a lot of maybe European, I don't really know if it's just Germany, but most of the people that I talk to, and this is a random sample size, and everybody sitting by me didn't know all the songs. They knew, and then like the people I talked to on the train, like, were very, very confused when I spoke about something not on the set list, to the point they were like, is that on the set list? I was like, no, I was talking about who Phoebe Bridgers was, no idea. And then I was like, oh, the song Run, they didn't know what it was. I talked about Haley Williams, they didn't know Paramore. So when I said, oh, Castle's Crumbling, they've never heard of that song. And then they kept saying, is that on the, and then I said Cornelia Street is our favorite song, we hope, and they were like, is that on the set? Like, so that was a conversation, but then I noticed it a few other times, and then I noticed it during the surprise songs. I was the only one standing, and like, I'm sorry, not the only one standing, in my vicinity. Yeah. And not in a bad or a good way, but I just was like, oh, I wonder if that's, and again, you can be like, I always see like a discourse, like, why can't people just be casual fans? Like, that's fine. I went to a Creed concert 2 weeks ago, and I knew 2 songs.
No, and I was gonna say, so I think I didn't experience that as much in the Dublin at the Dublin show. I don't know if it's because it felt like there were a lot of Americans, right? Like maybe around me or there, whatever. Like anybody I talked to outside of the concert, I should say, were like, we were in like a tourist town or at a bar, like in like a little tourist town that like went to the concert. So like if you're in a tourist town 2 hours away and you went to the concert, you're probably traveling there, and you are if you're traveling to see Taylor Swift, you know everything, I guess. But I did see people say that when Florida popped up at the London shows. Yes. People were like, you could see real quick the people that just studied the set list. Yes. Which I do. Yeah. If I'm going to a concert that I don't know all their songs, I only know a few. I'm like, okay, what songs are they playing? I'll listen to Phoebe Bridgers. Remember, I studied and I told you guys when we were, I'm like, that's right. This, and then this, and I learned every song. I did it. Yeah. So like it makes I'm totally not trying to say in a negative way, but it was a different experience. And I do get it. Like I could also see that being the way it is internationally too, more than. Right, because I don't know what it's like. Language. That's what I mean. Like, I don't know if it's like harder to like really. Yeah. I don't know. Like, and maybe that's also Dublin why Dublin did not. London are both English-speaking countries. Where Germany is not. I mean, most people speak English in Germany, but like obviously it's not an English-speaking. They speak German. Yeah. But also, what I keep forgetting is that, like, remember, if we look at our stats, or we used to at least in the first year of our podcast, other than the U.S., Germany is our biggest fan base. I shouldn't say fan base, listener base. I remember that girl, I don't know if she still listens, that used to always email us the nicest emails. She was from Germany. Was she from Germany? Yeah, she was from Germany. She was so nice.
Our number 2 listener viewership is in Germany. Oh. So I should have promoted our podcast more there. Like, it's me, guys. I'm famous. It's
I like. Okay, like it is funny how I sometimes think that, like in Dublin, you know, for example, like I was like, it would never happen, but I would be fucking floored if someone was like, Steph, and you know what I mean? Like I know it would never ever happen, but I was like, if that ever did, I think I would literally like black out.
I would be a bigger fan
of them. Yes, 100%.
Like, you want
I'd be
picture?
Like, do you want me to follow you on Instagram? Like, what do you want me to do for you? Like,
do you want to come to my house?
Literally, like I
have a room. Like, so stay
like
here.
Come visit anytime you want. Like,
literally.
Or when we went to that Philly Taylor Swift night, I was like, someone's gonna know.
Yeah, they're gonna know who you are.
Someone's gonna know.
One time, my friend Alex, I went to her birthday party, and I was setting up for it. It was this year, and her little cousin, she's like in high school, maybe college age, and she was like, I was really stressed because I was writing. She wanted to have a eulogy, like death door.
Okay.
So I was writing eulogy. I was putting a PowerPoint together to go to it, and I was on a time crunch, and I was really stressed. So I feel bad. So she's listening. I'm so sorry. And she was like, I just want you to know, like, I listen, like, you're like #1 fan. And I literally was like, oh my God, that's so nice. And then just looked back at my computer and kept typing.
You bitch.
I was a bitch. But I'd met her before.
So
She's like, but I'm your #1, like, follower or listener, like, whatever. But I met her before since when she was, like, younger. But, like, I just, like, think back on that moment. I'm like, oh my God. Because I've met her before. I wasn't thinking of her being like, oh, I'm a fan. I was thinking
like,
of, like,
they like,
gassing
don't
me
know
up.
you. Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I meant,
yeah.
like,
I got
a joke, I'm your fan.
Yeah.
But I'm like, wait, I don't actually know which one it was. Like, I don't know if she was, like, seriously, like, no, I listen every day. And, like, I love it. I'm your fan. Or if she was like, oh my God, I'm such a fan. Like, a jokey, friendly way. But I was very short. It's like when famous people, like, you get, never meet your heroes.
Yeah.
It was me that day.
You did that.
It was me because I'm
so sorry.
Alex was going to be there in 10 minutes, and I had to finish her PowerPoint, and I was reading through it, and I had to make sure it lined up the numbers because Alyssa had to switch the numbers when I was on a pair. It was like really, I was stressed out.
There's no excuse to do that.
But we sat in silence for a while. She's probably not a fan anymore.
Yeah, she probably won't even hear this.
Yeah.
Because never meet your heroes, as you said.
That's the closest I got. But I wish that girl in Germany that literally said, like, she was a fan of, she's like, I'm enchanted to listen to you. Remember her email?
Yeah, wasn't her name Selena?
It might have been something like that, Selena or something.
I think so.
She was
out
really
there.
Nice. It was like the nicest emails that we ever got.
No, it was so nice.
And I wish I thought about it pre-Germany to be like, are you still out there? I'll be there. I'll be in Munich.
I'll come see you.
Germany's a big place, so
yeah, true.
She could have not been in Munich. There was two other shows.
Right. Oh yeah, that's true. I forgot about the 2 other shows too. Yeah, that would be so fucking funny if that ever happened.
I'll die.
But I do know what you're saying about the person at Alex's birthday, because I do, like, some of my friends every now and then will be like, oh my God, can't wait for, like, whatever, if something crazy happens. Mm-hmm. They're like, oh my God, the pod episode's going to be crazy. And I'm like, you guys, like, don't actually listen to this.
Yeah, like, what
because if you did, you'd say something about something what I mean? Like if I'm like, if specific. I've said your name multiple times, and you never said, like, that, you know what I mean? Like,
yes,
and I'm like,
you would say it.
And I'm like, yeah, you don't have to. Yeah. I honestly would rather you don't.
Yeah.
Like, of my friends.
Yeah.
Not you.
Not whoever you are.
But I know what you mean by, like, are you just, like, saying that because I have a podcast, or do you actually enjoy hearing us like do this?
Do whatever the fuck we're doing. But okay, last thing about the concert, then we'll move on. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're good. We
fan project. I know. Fan project. I was a part of it. I was very confused because they were like, hold this up. The guy behind us was with his girlfriend or wife, and he had a whole entire printed out book of lyrics in order of every song. It was hilarious, and he was genuinely flipping to them every song cute. And singing along. It was adorable.
God.
And we kept turning around and giving thumbs up, and then they handed us pieces of paper during midnights, and I'm like, and it said, Taylor, you're the man. And I'm like, they're like, hold this up, and it's, by the way, it's pitch black, and I'm like, Taylor, wrong part of the fucking concert.
Also, wait, where were you? Like,
we were by the...
No, but I mean, like, could she see it?
So I'll explain. Yeah, so
okay,
I'm like, where... So I'm, like, holding it. I'm like, Ryan, like, I don't want to hold this.
I'm not following.
I don't want to hold this up. I just want to watch the end of the concert. But they were so nice. They were the ones that, like, took our picture. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? This is the wrong song. You missed it by an entire concert.
Literally the entire thing.
This is the beginning when it was light out.
The entire thing.
Because I'm thinking maybe you're the man because she's up on those stairs facing us.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, I look and it's like, hold this up during Antihero. And I'm like, what in the name of God? And everybody, I thought it was literally just the four of us. And then all of a sudden, we're the people that she comes around and waves at. And the entire section held up, you're the man, Taylor.
You're the man.
Yeah.
Now, see, during Antihero, I would have thought maybe the Taylor, you'll be fine, like, on a piece of paper, maybe.
But I was, like, so
But, like, wait,
confused.
so she could read it?
I don't know. She waved at us. Were there like, could she read it? I have no idea. It was
like,
black.
if I was Taylor Swift,
She's definitely some white paper.
if I was Taylor Swift and I could read it, I would be like, I'd be like, doing the wave thing, and then I'd be like, okay, and then
Wrong song, guys.
Yeah, right? I'd be like, oh, I think you forgot or mixed them up.
And I wonder if people do that during if that's like because literally like the balloons, everyone had them. This girl printed them out. She had a folder and she passed it out to us.
Yeah.
She didn't pass it out to the whole section. The whole section had it. So I'm like, oh, maybe this is a thing that this section does.
I don't know.
Because she waves at us. But like, it was cute. I was annoyed by it until I realized the whole section did it.
Okay.
But I didn't.
It still didn't really quite click.
Before it, I was like, I don't want to hold this up, but I feel like rude.
I have to. Yeah.
I was like. And then she
yeah, I don't. Well, actually, I can't say that because I actually went to the bathroom during Antihero in Dublin.
When I went to the bathroom accidentally when the Red Box came out, so I missed 22, unfortunately. And not that I care about the song so much, but
did you miss the hat?
I missed the hat, and Ryan had seen the hat, but I guess he didn't see it the way. But he was so jazzed. He was like, "You missed."
I'm sure it's really cute.
I'm like, yeah. I'm actually now that. The way that he was so excited about it made me sad that I missed it.
It's funny that you mentioned that because I was actually talking about this with like one of my friends last weekend because we were talking about when people would go on bathroom breaks and stuff. The Red Box is the perfect time to go to the bathroom when you're watching the movie.
Oh.
Because there's no lines. So you get right back in time to see the end of 22 and the 22 hat.
Right.
At the show, everybody tries to go between sets. So there is going to be, like when I went during Antihero, that was after Lavender Haze. So it was like the second or third song I think it's the second song in the midnight set. So like if people had gone to the bathroom, which maybe they weren't by that point during midnights, like there was no line, I went right in. And the only reason I went was because like I didn't have to go that bad, but I was like, I don't know how long it's going to take us to get home. Right. And the last thing I want to do is like need to find a bathroom somewhere. So I was like, I'm just going to go now. Because, like, Antihero was far, back on the stage. And I was, like, way on the other side. And I was like, I know this one. I'm good. I'm going to go now. And so, like, Khan's mom went with, like, she ended up coming with me. And we were, like, the only two in the bathroom.
Yeah.
So I got back by the time, I think I still got back within the same song.
And then during Karma, it started downpouring. I had an overhang. We had a giant overhang over us. So I didn't even know, except for Taylor was singing Karma. And she stopped. She goes, it's raining, and it was so cute. She was like, oh my god, it's raining in the middle of a breath.
Cute.
Adorable. And then it literally stopped as soon as the song ended.
Amazing.
And then picked back up again as soon as we got in the car. It was downpouring. But
perfect.
I'm like, okay, heat lightning did not ruin
you made it through.
And that's...
How was the traffic getting out?
It was not brutal, but it for a while we thought it was going to be brutal.
Yeah.
And then once we actually got out, because there were so many different places of parking, and we were parked by the train station, so it wasn't that bad. But
okay, we got
food actually first, went home, and it was so early in the U.S. that I had a billion text messages still. People were posting at that time, all that stuff. So I don't even know. I think we passed right out, but it was. I didn't notice the ride home because I was famous.
You're right. Yeah.
I was famous on the ride home, so it was wonderful.
That's so true.
But it was perfect. Seriously, the best 30th birthday in the entire planet, universe of the world. And then we went to Salzburg the next day and had a magical time. And yeah, so that's that. We just took a really long time to do that, but we were talking about a lot of things.
It's fine.
On the next note that I have is ultimately, I don't know how to split this up, but the London shows, Vienna, Instagram, the music video, reputation, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So should we talk about the positive of the London first?
Yeah.
I mean, not that anything bad happened in London, but then.
Yeah.
Okay. So. Do you want to talk about how we never talked about
Travis Kelce? Yeah,
Are
no.
you sure?
I'm like dead.
Certain?
I yes, because I feel like when we end, like, because our last episode was like, felt like when we finished it, I was like, that was long. And it didn't seem like it needed to be, you know, with what our topics were.
Right.
And then I was like, oh my God, we didn't talk about Travis Kelce going on the stage. And that should have been an hour-long discussion. Yeah, right? Like, I don't think we did.
But we did talk about I'm so thrown.
No, because we mainly talked about Dublin. Because he was at the Dublin show. He showed up late. So we were talking about him in that sense. But we didn't talk about, like, we didn't talk about Jason Kelce being at the concert and Kylie Kelce.
What about the episode before that? Oh, no, we hadn't had one.
Yeah, it happened a long time ago in terms of the episodes.
And now that's happened so long ago
that it feels,
you know, there's not, you don't have to spend
But, like, no, it was the best thing ever. And, like, that whole weekend of, like, Jason and Kylie being at the shows, like, all of the different angles. So many famous people were there.
His friendship bracelets, and he's showing Kylie. Did you see that? And he's like, and I don't know what she does, but she probably does something along the lines of a thumbs up. Like,
they're showing that video that pops up of, like, I think it's during Love Story or maybe Lover, when Taylor's singing and, like, Travis is singing, and I think it must be.
Kylie's, like, watching.
And she's like literally just like, so cute.
She's like watching Taylor sing to
Travis. Yeah, she's watching like both of them. Yes, it's adorable.
And like ear to ear smiling.
Yes, and then and then like when they went back the second night, and you could tell that like Jason like knew the deal now and was just like they were like fired up in the VIP tent that whole night. It was so
he was literally
funny.
Like raging.
Yeah, they all were. And like Tom Cruise was jumping around, like everybody was just like going nuts night 2 in the tent. And then obviously the third show, none of them were there except for Travis basically, and then a couple like other famous people.
Though. If they were planning that the whole time, why wouldn't he want his family to be there? Like I want to know the logistics between why.
I think that came up kind of quickly. Like I don't.
Did you hear the podcast of them talking about it after?
Yeah, and how he was like he wanted to ride the bike, and she was like,
I said as a joke, but he did it. He did rehearsal, so it couldn't have been that last minute.
Yeah, no, I mean I agree, but it also just could be that like they
for some reason it only worked out that night. Like I can also see Travis needing to be what's the word liaison? I don't know what it is. The in between for like. Okay, Jason and Kylie are coming.
That's what I was thinking too.
And Travis needs to be that middle person to be like, oh, this is Taylor's mom. This is Taylor's dad.
All
this
the
is
friends.
Tom
yeah.
Cruise, as if they wouldn't know who Tom Cruise. Like,
right.
Of course, they all knew each other, but it also could be like he had to be sort of that. He's the root.
He's the representative.
He's the anchor.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is.
No, I could see that.
But I'm sad that I like wish Jason and Kylie were there to see it.
So insane,
but
so fun. Well, my favorite part was just like you did like the crowd didn't realize it was him for a while.
Yes, you like hear
and then
realize.
You just heard them erupt, which does actually. I mean, and then she posted about it. She posted him on the grid, like hard launched him with the Prince,
literally.
And then obviously posted him again in her.
I forgot that she did that stuff.
Literally, so funny. Like, what a fuck you to your ex-boyfriend that lives in that country.
Yeah.
To hard launch your new boyfriend with the Prince.
Right. But even
and then the grid.
But even without that, just the fact that he's there.
Yeah.
And exists there.
Crazy.
It's so old Taylor, but like it's so like unheard of. Like it's so heard of. But it's like the old Taylor can't come to the phone right now, she's dead. And it's like she's not dead. She's alive.
I'm not following.
Because pre-Joe, she would post her boyfriends.
Oh, yes. I see what you're saying.
So it feels like this is so unheard of. But like it is, but like she's been with Joe for so long that it's like this Taylor has never existed. But then it calls back to like she is who she's always wanted to be. Like
right. And I mean like we did get, the TikTok after the Super Bowl.
With Joe. I thought you were
No, with Travis. Yeah. And then we did get, he was in the Fortnite clip thing on YouTube. So like she was slowly bringing him.
What do they call it? Soft launching. Yeah, she was soft launching.
But
as
then
if not everybody fucking knew.
Right, as if we didn't see them together, and she was on the field at the Super Bowl, whatever. But like to see her post I mean, and I know they weren't personal pictures. Like they're still pictures from the tour, but like
the selfie.
But still like I mean, that's
but
I do think it was like yeah. Still not a glimpse into their like relationship,
right? It's
personal
what we
type
knew
thing.
was happening,
right?
Which is exactly what we say is like,
and I was
you
like,
don't know what Travis
and that's what
talks
Travis
about.
always says. Yeah. So but it is still crazy that she did it.
It's
like
so crazy that she did it, and like that the fact that he came out, okay, wild. I like. Are you sure we didn't talk about this? Because I feel like way back when 1999 Taylor's version came out, I was like, Steph, she's going to Buenos Aires or whatever. And I just feel like she's going to play Endgame, and I just feel like Travis Kelce's going to come out and
Steph,
do Ed Sheeran's part.
We talked about that.
Yeah, and then I feel like when he came out on stage, we were like, it's not that far off from him coming on stage.
Yeah, we
next.
texted about that.
Oh.
Like, we didn't talk about... I remember because I was like, remember when he came out on stage, I was like, your Endgame theory is now not off the table. And my love story proposal is now not off the table, because we were like, there's no fucking way.
Yeah.
She gets him on, he's on stage. Yeah. And then he was. So then it was like, I think we were just texting about how like our insane theories like are not dead.
Yeah, like my theory is he's getting up for Endgame and he's doing Ed Sheeran's part. Like or making his own part up.
Well, yeah.
And just coming up and being like,
yeah, no, I mean, like, they're not off the table anymore. No, everything's available. I think it could happen. Well, except for the fact that, like, she's finishing the tour during football season, which will be tough.
Like 1,000 times.
Yeah, it'll be tough to see him on stage again.
Yeah. No, but he did say, like, he hinted at or alluded to the fact that it might not be the only time.
Well, right, but...
Do the schedules not align?
The schedules don't align in the sense that...
I know it's football season, but, like...
He'd only be able to do it if his bye week lined up with one of her shows, and I don't know if that is what is happening. Yeah.
Well, why would he say that then? That's kind of rude.
Maybe he thought he was going to get to go out at another time on, because he was there a lot.
Maybe he thought.
In the European leg, you know, like he was there for a lot of shows until he had to go back to camp.
But it was
okay. Yeah.
Oh, the shaking though, I really like. I just like want.
So cute.
If I had Travis here, I would just say, like, did Taylor know you were going to shake her?
Yeah.
Did she get a headache?
No.
I feel like I would have been like, don't shake me.
Well, I did think it was so funny when he forgot to, like, brush her face.
Do you think that was part of it?
No, I think he genuinely, like, I think they rehearsed it a certain way. And then he got so fired up about, like...
Look at everybody cheering for me.
Yeah, exactly. And then she's...
Yeah.
Because you could see her face a little bit, like... Yeah. Like, you know, it got a little more, like, you know, like you're missing it. This is a performance. Like, and then obviously.
Oh, my God, that's so funny. I keep going back and forth every time I watch it. I'm like, I can't tell.
I think Jan motioned for something, too. Like, I think he behind him was like, you know, like, to be like, come on. And then, like, she, like, smacked her.
That is so funny.
No, everything about that was so good. And
that makes it even better.
This is a good segue, though, into the recent London shows.
Yes.
Because did you see how on the last night, after Florence came out to do Florida, everybody thought that Jan was Post Malone?
Yes! Wait, Steph, I was watching it live and people
erupted. Because I was watching it live, too. And then everybody's like, that is just Jan.
Why did everybody scream, though?
Because I think they must have been like, we're getting every possible surprise that we could possibly get tonight. Because it literally, people were just like, I was like, what is going on? And I was like, that looks like it's just Jan. And he doesn't look like Post Malone. But that was so funny.
Like YouTube, what are you doing? I wonder if you're watching the same.
I was watching on YouTube, I think.
Me too, because the guy I was watching on YouTube was like, why is everybody screaming?
Yeah.
Is it Post Malone?
Yeah.
I was like, wait, it's just... like,
yeah, exactly. He was with it, so he, like, I knew it wasn't... I was dying. I was like, everybody relax. Even though I guess that you could say they got so many different surprises that it makes sense that they thought they were just getting what's one more, but...
But did he come out of a different way? Like,
no.
why?
No. I think he was the same. Unless, like, if you hadn't been to one of the shows, you don't know how he comes out.
Yeah.
So you're thinking, oh my God,
there's a new
person's coming onto the stage.
That's
but
so funny.
That was so funny.
So, okay. The first London show. First of all, I'm so late to the game. But I downloaded Swift Alert, which is like amazing and so much fun. And I was telling you about it, and I downloaded it because I really wanted the first set of the second round of London shows, so London Night 4. The prize to win was Love or Live from Paris and vinyl, and like I would die for that. I always thought like, okay, Ryan and I will get that. We'll split it for like a wedding gift to each other.
Yeah.
Because he has all original vinyl records from like original ones, because he's a big music person. And then I obviously just really have like Taylor Swift and Sheeran ones.
Yep.
But that's like our favorite song, like whatever.
Yeah.
And it's $1,000 billion, as everybody knows. It's so sought out.
Crazy.
And so I'm like, okay. So I download this thing. I always hear people playing it. I always see people like talking about like, oh, I wonder what set 1989 thing she's gonna wear. And I'm like, what, people keep track of it? And now I realize it's because of Mastermind, which is on the Swift Alert app.
Yeah.
Amazing app, by the way. There are games galore. There are quizzes on there. You can do your rankings. It's amazing. They have like giveaways. They have merch, like links to different merch websites. And then they also have links to different live streams on every different platform. Like, it's really like worth it. It's only $2,
really cool.
$1.99 to get, but it's just a one-time thing.
Okay.
Anyway, you guess every single thing from what her lover outfit's gonna be, to the jacket, to the guitar, to the tortured poet's dress, if it's gonna be Who's Afraid of Little Old Me, or I Love You, It's Ruining My Life.
Yep.
And then the 1989 thing, it's awesome, and then down to the surprise songs. And then it has like random questions too, like, is she gonna announce something tonight? Is she gonna bring out a special guest? And it's so much fun to play, and I just highly recommend getting it for the next set. Like, seriously, it was so much fun.
Wait, but what happened night 4?
I don't remember. That was just the first night that I got it. But
oh, okay. I thought
that
you
the night
like.
that Ed Sheeran came out. I don't know. There probably.
I think it was.
There probably was like some correlation, but it's out of.
I kind of forgot actually already that Ed Sheeran had come out.
Okay, Ed Sheeran came out. I don't know why I saw that in a realm of possibility, but I didn't even like think of it. And they did Endgame and Everything Has Changed and Thinking Out Loud.
Yeah, I love that they did Thinking Out Loud.
I cried. Like, oh my God. I'm not jealous because I'm happy with what I got, but like, oh my God, if I got to hear Everything Has Changed, that was like one of my like nostalgic favorites.
Yeah.
When Red came out, I like literally couldn't stop listening to that song.
You love that song.
Yeah. I love that song.
Yeah, that was. I was surprised that they didn't like throw Run in there too.
Yeah. Interesting.
Because like you're doing them all anyway.
You're doing them all, but Everything Has Changed to Endgame and Thinking Out Loud are all very clearly like tell a story. Run.
That's true.
Would almost be like, so because of that, I was like, all right, what songs make sense? I put the last night, which I was so wrong. I was like, okay, one is she hasn't done I Know Places in a while, and what goes along with that? The Bolter. What goes along with that? Run.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm a genius. She's so playing this. I don't know in what world I thought she would play it. I just thought like it makes sense.
I Know Places and Run makes a ton of sense because they're both about like running away together. Yeah. I don't know about the Bolter. Yeah, by
but
yourself.
It's just in general,
but yeah, it's all about
she could totally
running away.
Mesh it and make it something else.
Yeah.
Because she already did the Bolter getaway car.
So people thought maybe that because apparently Ed had been in Vienna before the show, so people potentially had thought he was meant to be
there
at the Vienna shows.
Oh,
because then he left the next day or something. I don't know where I saw this.
Yeah, I saw something with his planes
where it was like he came from Vienna and then he went somewhere else the next day. Where it was like, well, maybe he was supposed to be, you know, at one of the Vienna shows, but I mean, but so many London is such an easy access point, and like so many famous people
and that's also
end up there that like
base.
Is it?
He's not Irish. I mean, he is Irish, but he grew up in London. I mean, England.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I know because but think of his accent. It's British. It's English. I don't know, British, English, whatever. But yeah, because I always confuse that. I'm like, he's obviously Irish.
Well, I only think it because of Galway Girl.
Yeah, but true. But also, not Galway Girl, the other song that he has, it's about his grandparents, and one was from Ireland, one's from Northern Ireland, and they like escaped and ran away together because they weren't supposed to be together.
Right.
So, yes, he is half Irish, but he grew up in England.
Got it.
Castle on the Hill talks about his. Anyway, yes, he is. He's a London boy. I don't know London specifically, but England.
The other thing I saw after, like, Ed Sheeran, and I guess I didn't know this in part of like the lore of their friendship, but people were like, it's so funny that like they've been friends for so long, but they don't, like, he doesn't
acknowledge each other
that much anymore. And then someone was like, well, remember when he outed that she had an album she had Reputation coming out
too.
And I was like, when did that happen? I don't
remember that,
unless it just was like I wasn't following her as closely, because obviously that was when she was like silent.
Yeah. Did you look into it more? Because I did.
Nothing besides like they were like, oh, he just said it randomly at something.
He just said Taylor's releasing music this year.
Right. And like, but I was like, obviously nobody else really picked up on it, but maybe it was like, oh, he must have gotten a slap on the wrist.
Right.
There's a deer out there.
I thought you were going to say some other exotic.
No, do you see it?
No, I don't.
No, it's moving.
Steph, I don't see it, but
Yes, you do. It's moving right now.
I don't see it, but
it's moving right now.
I want to be like,
there. It's going. It's Steph.
I don't see
Steph.
it. Steph. I don't see anything. I see a reflection of us and the treadmill.
He's probably going behind the treadmill now. He was over by the other doors.
Was he on the
I don't know.
porch, or was he back?
I think he must have been on the rocks.
I want to be respectful, but there's always deer out there.
No, I'm.
You were just freaking out seeing something.
No, because
move.
I saw something move. Yeah, exactly.
No,
It wasn't
I understand.
necessarily.
One time I was out here and a physical. Oh, it actually reminded me of you. A raccoon. I was like, oh my god. And it was Ryan and I and Belle, and I'm like, oh, Bella, please don't wake up. And the raccoon went up there.
That was so fucking terrifying. Yeah, they can fucking climb.
Yeah. Well, it didn't climb up. It climbed up the stairs.
Oh.
Different.
The raccoons in Connecticut can climb up poles.
Yeah, I
to
thought
get
of
to
you.
the
I was like,
second.
Steph fought a raccoon once.
I hissed at it.
So crazy. But yeah, that I would have been scared if I saw it too, Steph. But for some reason, like, I genuinely can't see past our reflection.
It might be
except
because
for
of
right here.
It might be because of the screen or some, like, the way the angle
Yeah.
was. I could see it through the screen more than like.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyway.
Yeah. So I was like,
Ed Sheeran.
maybe Taylor slapped him on the wrist and like was like, you can't.
But he also is friends with most of her enemies.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't think she cares. Like, we're like,
She clearly doesn't.
Sabrina
Yeah.
is
Right.
in cahoots with Kim, and
I think like Lana Del Rey did stuff
like,
too.
She
Yeah.
doesn't care. So I don't necessarily think that, but he always has been. Where like Ed's always been friends with John Mayer is coming out on stage with him.
Yeah.
I don't think she cares about John Mayer. When Taylor and Travis first started dating, but we didn't know about it. He's literally wearing
the John Mayer shirt.
t-shirt.
Yeah.
So I don't think she cares, but I do think that this is a total guess. There's nothing other than my like gut intuition, but I do think he keeps himself out of everything to a point that he doesn't stand up for his friends.
Yeah.
And whether good or bad, I think that when everything went down with Taylor, with the whole Reputation, like predating, like the whole Kim Kanye thing, and a lot of people stood up for her and Ed didn't, Taylor probably was like, oh, and I think their friendship didn't end but took a step back and just will never be the place that it was, but they still have love for each other. And that's like a total whatever, where it's like, okay, like he's not going against me, but he's not.
But
gonna,
I also like
put it all out there for me either.
I definitely agree with you from the sense of like I think they are still friends, but not like super close. But the only reason I wouldn't say it happened, like that anything was sour from all the Reputation type drama, was because why would she put him on it? He's on Reputation.
Oh, right, duh.
He's in Endgame.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean?
Know.
Like,
yeah.
if that was why, I doubt
right.
he'd be on it.
You're right.
They probably just kind of grew apart.
Right.
Like they were close during Red, which was
10
years, like 12 years ago.
Yeah.
Like,
and then they did Run recently. Like,
right.
Re-recorded recorded it.
Right.
Yeah, so I guess
they
they're
probably just
not,
like don't really know much about each other's lives, like personally.
Yeah, you're right.
And it's like, but we're still friends, and like we'll still do music together every now and then if we want to, you know? Like,
yeah, actually, you're right. I totally forgot.
But then it is funny that people were like, because she called him her second brother or something, and people were like, low key, like, true, because I forget Austin exists all the time, and I forget Ed and Taylor are friends all the time. So I'm like, maybe it is really truly a brother-sister relationship.
I feel like you're right. They're actually probably fine. They're just not in the same places of their lives that they once were, which happens and makes total sense. But I'm like, wow, that's amazing, because we've wanted that for so long. And if you watch the video, how she hasn't done it before, where she started singing and then pulls Ed out.
She did that for Gracie.
Really? The deer's back?
There's another one.
Oh, I see the deer.
Okay. I'm not crazy.
I saw it, but now that it's behind the screen,
that must be
I
what
see
what
where
it was.
is. Like, it's butt, and now
it's
it's
moving
gone.
now.
I don't see it now. Like, I do a little,
Yeah, but she did that when she brought Gracie out to sing Us.
Really?
Yeah,
but she didn't start singing Us without Gracie.
What?
How could she have?
Yeah, I think she did, because I think she said, you know what? I can't do this one justice. I need to bring...
Oh, and she had started singing It Stopped and then brought her out?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think she did.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I didn't watch... I probably only saw clips of it while they were singing it together, and didn't watch the entire thing.
Unless it was... No, I think it was... Because I think she even, like, prefaced it with, like, this just came out. Yeah. So, you know, whatever.
But that's so fun.
That's so funny, because that was a Travis show, too. Like, Travis on stage. Gracie.
Oh, that was the same show?
I think so.
That's amazing.
Because people were like, everybody noticed Gracie leave the tent. Because I saw tweets about that.
Noticed Travis.
And then somehow the big 6'5"
yes, I remember that.
tight end doesn't get noticed leaving the tent.
And then one of the nights, I got this right on Swift Alert, Mastermind. I just felt really smart about this, even though it was kind of obvious, but not. I got right fully that she was going to sing London Boy on the night that she did it on guitar, and I just felt so like genius, because like
that she sang London Boy.
Well, hear me out, because a lot of people thought she was never going to sing that song. I was like, she's for sure doing So Long London on the last night. London Boy could be any night.
Yep. Yes, that's true.
Could be any night, and there's a chance she doesn't do it. Because
I thought
she was gonna change the lyrics to be like, I love London boy, not a London boy, but like, oh, I love, like, boy, I love London.
Oh, see, I would have thought if anything it might have been like, you know, I loved a London boy.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I guess maybe it was like certain songs she has sang since that I'm like, well, if she's doing that, yeah, she's gonna play London Boy in London.
I just the only reason I partially like thought maybe she would never do it is because it feels so directly. It's so directly.
I mean, it is, yeah.
Like London Boy, like.
But when you think about it from from how she, you know, her speech during Lover, like, I want you to think about us playing these songs together. Like, how much does a girl from London or like a boy from London want to hear London Boy and sing about, you know, I love a London boy? You know what I mean? Like, if you're from there, like, of course you want to, like, like, I don't know, if you're whoever you're dating, it's like, yeah, I love London Boy. I don't know. Like, if she really thinks that way about a lot of things, which I know she doesn't because of some of the songs she picks to play when Travis is there. But, like, I for some reason I didn't, and maybe it's because it's upbeat and like I never really liked it at all. Like maybe it was like I didn't feel like there was like an emotion, like it as much as it's very direct, obviously, about Joe. It didn't feel like emotional about him in a way, even though obviously it is.
I know. I feel the same but opposite, that like because it's so happy, like how could she actually give that song justice without the feeling of it? Because it's so, like, you could give an angry song justice. Yeah. With being about So Long London, because fuck that. But and even like I don't know. I just
I guess what I'm saying more is like I never actually associated that as a love song for Joe. Right. Like, call it what you want, love song for Joe, like Daylight, whatever one's Lover, like, were love songs for Joe. Like, London Boy didn't feel like a love song. as much as obviously it is
Yeah.
a happy in a relationship
like
song,
kicking
it
your
doesn't
feet. Yeah.
yeah, it just didn't feel like a love song to me. I don't know why, but I don't know. But I did, I for some reason I just figured she's 100% going to play it.
I haven't watched it at all, though, to see what her facial, I want to see what she, like, her emotions during it. I need to do that. But, I haven't. And, I thought maybe she would match it up with London Boy, I Forgot That You Existed.
Oh, that'd be funny.
But then I'm like, well, if she's singing it to London, I don't know if that's, like, rude. And then also in the heat of her, like, Vienna not speaking about it, her saying I Forgot That You Existed, I feel like she probably would, like, stay away from that song.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then obviously I forget what the one night was, but then you have the final night.
Yeah.
The big finale. We're both watching live. Well, actually, I wasn't watching live at this point.
Yeah.
And Florida.
Florida.
So you watched you watched it in live come up. So like,
I think it was similar to what we were saying about how people don't know what surprise song is playing. You know, like I like started singing it, and then like similar. Exactly. I was like, if you beat the charges, and then I think the person that was doing live, they were like, wait, what? They're like, it's Florida, and I was like, wait, what? Because it obviously too, like since her next tour like stop is Miami. As much as, like, totally makes sense for her to do Florida in London because Florence is there. But, like, it was also one of those ones where everybody was like, oh, she's not going to play Florida until Miami. Like, because Florida. Which, to be fair, I'm sure it will be a surprise song in Miami. But, like...
I think they're going to just play in Miami with her.
I mean, if she goes, then probably. Well, because that's what people were saying. They were like, they definitely, like, they added this. Like
with
it's not like a surprise. But it's like, is Florence just going to go on the rest of...
I don't think the rest, but I don't think that'll be the only.
Maybe for Miami.
Therefore, especially for Miami, I think it would be insane if they did that for London and not Miami. However, I do love how it's like, So Long London and Take Me to Florida. Like, that's literally where... It is Florida's next. Yeah. It's not Canada. Yeah, so that's like... so fun.
It is. I was like, oh, I do actually
like,
love
why?
that.
I saw like this tweet. It's like,
I need to forget, so take me to Florida.
Yeah. But
Perfect.
Like, I don't understand why she would have played this for the first time in London and not saved it for Florida. And it's like, duh, because it says take me to Florida.
Literally, I saw that too, and then someone just screenshotted the I need to forget, so take me to Florida. Just like replied with that, and I was like, yeah, duh.
Like it's perfect. Right. Because I saw a lot of people's guesses for surprise songs, So Long London, Florida, and I was like, she's not gonna do that. I understand their idea of like So Long London, Take Me to Florida. Yeah. But I think So Long London needed its own moment.
It's gonna finish the London surprise songs. Yeah. Yeah.
And then that just like I'm like that makes sense, but that blew me out of the water.
It also made sense like why people had seen like weird things of her rehearsing really late, new lights. It seemed like at the stage because again people saw green and thought it was Reputation.
Everybody.
Me, myself included. Why else would I be watching a live stream? Like, I don't really watch them anymore.
We talked about this before. I'm like, I definitely thought it was a possibility, and it made sense.
If there was going to be a time, I thought it was the last night in London.
However, I was like, well, like, with the mastermind or whatever, it's like, is there going to be a new Reputation suit? And I was like, no, there's not.
No. And I didn't think that would happen. Like, even if she ended up announcing... Like, her coming out in the same Reputation outfit didn't make me think she's not doing it.
Yeah,
you know, like
exactly, because I was like, it doesn't make sense because she's not going to announce it during Reputation. If she's going to come out with a new outfit for Reputation, it's going to be after Taylor's version's out.
Yeah,
and she's going to do it during surprise songs if she announces it.
Right. Should we talk about that, like Reputation and debut, or should we go to the London Instagram post, Vienna stuff, and then circle back to what we think she might do with the Taylor's versions?
London.
Let's do London. Let's finish on the fun,
more positive
speculation.
Yeah. So obviously,
her London post. So obviously after the Vienna shows were canceled,
which is horrible.
Awful, but like. Also, one, not her call.
No.
So, like, anyway, the discourse that erupted on Twitter certain people, because most people were like, oh, I'm so sad for everybody.
Yeah.
Like, and I loved seeing how everybody came together
On
to
the
do
Cornelia
all like
Street?
yeah, like literally so
Yeah.
cute. Like I really do think it was like, it seemed like a nice place of camaraderie that happened.
Yeah.
But then it felt like the longer time passed and that she didn't say anything, the more mad people got, and maybe even like the people that were gonna go to the shows. Like,
it was some people that went, not everybody that went to the shows.
I agree.
It's like pockets of people from everywhere, but enough people, and that's what happens on social media, is that
right.
you have enough people that like normally wouldn't agree with you, but social media is the whole world, where you find enough people and then it just gets louder and louder.
And it's one of those things that like I started seeing some stuff and I was like, is this real? Like, is this really what people are upset about her not saying anything?
I saw somebody post it on the show. You know how Taylor Nation reposted that it was canceled, and it was from like probably whoever, like the
stadium or whatever. Yeah.
That day there was like a few posts and people ripped them apart that were literally blaming Taylor like within minutes of it being posted, but obviously that was a really small percentage. But then it kept getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
Not for necessarily blaming Taylor that it was canceled,
but that she didn't say
for not saying anything. That was insane.
I truly don't understand the bubble of the bubble some people live in.
I know.
Like, there's enough like nervousness when people think, when she doesn't talk about politics. Yeah. I'm like, she's on a world tour. Like, even in America, I'm like, she's on a tour.
She wasn't on a tour. Like, stop.
You don't have to literally
stop looking to your idols of music to have to like change the world
but
for you.
But also like, and what annoys me too, because it's happening again recently, and literally right after the Vienna her Instagram post, I was like, good, I don't have to hear about like shit that like people are mad at Taylor Swift for a while. And then it was something about like Trump used her likeness in an AI image or something,
and she's not saying anything about that.
So anyway, but like somebody was like, oh well, Beyonce told him to cease and desist using her song, and you don't see Taylor saying anything. And they're like, first of all, copyrights on a song are a lot different than AI images. We've seen her try to take down AI images before.
Yeah, when she didn't say anything about the AI porn or whatever.
No, they just tried to take it down, and it was like a lot of bullshit to try to get it. And also like, so then a bunch of Beyonce fans, and not everyone, but we're like, oh, look at this, like, you know, our queen does something, but you know who's silent? Of course, everything comes back to Taylor Swift for some stupid fucking reason. And then people were like, first of all, Beyonce didn't say anything. She just put a cease and desist on her song. Yes, that makes this a point. But, like, she didn't say anything. And then they were like, and everybody calling out, like, not talking about Palestine. Like, where'd Beyonce talk about Palestine? And then people are like, well, she said in 2022 she had a song that said, like, vote out 45 or something, which I didn't know Beyonce had. But then people were like, oh, Beyonce said something after Trump was already out of office. Like, Taylor said something in her documentary in 2019. Are we like, do we need to say something every year?
No. Even beyond that, Steph, it's like, even tit for tat, it's absolutely insane, but like, let her be a human being. I don't care if Beyonce has or hasn't. I don't care if Ariana Grande has. I don't care how big her platform is. I don't care if she said something in a documentary in 2019 and she said she wanted to be an advocate and she's not now. People are human beings, and that doesn't make her evil, and it doesn't make her anything. And she is not your puppet. And also, I feel like I feel like, again, it comes back to like the people being enraged at her not saying anything about Vienna. Like, I've thought this throughout the Eras tour. I'm like, Taylor, just don't say anything that would cause people to do something at your show. Yeah. Like, because I've thought about that plenty of times. I'm like, I agree. Like, don't say anything. And then, but like, it truly, I'm dumbfounded at people thinking she should have said something within a week of a terrorist threat at her concert when she has another one 5 nights. Yeah. The same week. Right. The next week. In the place that people were just
rioting. Yes, exactly. I was like, because I was like, she's not saying anything because she's about to cancel London. Like, I was
I
like,
thought
she
so
might
too,
be
yeah.
not, like, that might be why she's delaying it,
Yeah.
because she's gonna be like, London's canceled, we're done. Like, obviously I think maybe she'd pick up the rest of the shows, but like, I was thinking at first that's why she wasn't saying anything, but then I was like, why the hell would she say anything if she's keeping the London shows too? You gotta keep your people safe.
And also, like, to your point before, like, you think it's a scary thing, and you were saying, like, you think, like, oh, she's not going to say anything because you're keeping people safe, which is true. I have to say, like, obviously it's true. There was a terrorist threat that was stopped, more than a threat, like a full plan. But all I thought at Munich, the hill was cool, but literally the only thing I thought was anybody on that hill has a clear shot to any of us and Taylor Swift.
Okay, like,
because it was right after the Trump thing.
And
a
yes,
few weeks after Trump
and
whatever. And I'm like, literally, like, the amount of times that flashed through my brain that somebody on that hill that had a gun could have, like...
Well, because have you seen, there had been a couple shows now that they showed, like, videos of people, like, on the top of the stadium. Like, they were like, who are these two people? Like, two figures just, like, standing on the top of one of the stadiums. I can't remember where it was at. And I was like, I hope to God that is some sort of people that work there.
Yeah.
Even though now working there might be a scary thing because one of the terrorists was working.
Security, yeah.
And I literally, I thought the same thing when I saw this picture. I was like, that is so fucking scary. She, like, any of us could have been shot, but, like, she could have been shot.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm sorry. If Taylor Swift dies, I'm going to lose my fucking mind. Like,
no, literally.
I will not survive.
But that's what people don't understand. Like, not even, like, how we would feel about a random celebrity versus Taylor Swift, but, like, Taylor Swift also had that, like, not only was it all those people that could have died, and that Taylor Swift feels guilt for that, but it's also her own life. And not only her own life, but she knows that the reason those people would have
been there is for her, and we know how she is. Yes.
To feel that way, and no, for any human being
of
to
course.
feel that way is
well,
a
and that's
thing.
the thing too. Like when it first came out, like Taylor Swift concert canceled because of a terrorist threat. I was like, whoa! Like at first in my head, I was like, wait, is somebody trying to like plotting to kill Taylor Swift specifically? Like in my head, I was like, holy fuck! And then when I saw like what their plan was, I was like, no, they just wanted to do mass destruction and kill as many people as they possibly could. Would Taylor Swift have been one of them? Probably not. Because she would have been, you know...
Like, depending
on when it happened, where, like...
Entry and
and it seemed like one of their plans was just to run a car through the crowd.
Yes.
Yeah, like, of people outside. So I was like, okay, like... But I was like, yeah, still, like, that is...
No, it's
devastating.
Yeah.
Like, and I was talking to one of my friends about it, and she was like, I don't understand, like, why people would want to, like, threaten, like, a safe place. Like, you know, like, she was like, it's women and children. Like, why? And I was like... They don't care who it is. They want mass destruction.
But
it's a Taylor Swift concert that has a ton of people at it.
All eyes are on that concert. Across the globe. But not only that, but it is interesting, though. The only other time, in at least recent history, was that you could think of this as Ariana Grande. So it is a very, very similar fan base, especially coming off of the stabbings in London or in England.
Well, and I was gonna say, and that's the other one too.
It is like there is this weird where I saw a lot of people tweeting after this, and it's so horrible and it's so true,
women and children are the targets.
That you put online, no, but like how many times have you seen like, oh, Taylor Swift fans should die, bully a Swiftie today, like stupid shit like that, which is like whatever, but all these. It was like an 18, 19-year-old, 20-year-old that were arrested and all said radicalized by the internet. Like, it very much is.
Well,
like,
and that's what's scary.
Why it's so crazy. Like these stupid. It starts with the stupid fan wars.
Yeah.
Ariana Grande and Taylor Swift and Charlie XCX.
Well,
and
okay.
Taylor Swift and Beyonce. It's like it starts with that shit.
And I was literally just going to talk about Charlie XCX too, because literally at some of her concerts, people were like chanting "Taylor Swift die," and she was like, she posted, she was like, "Can you not like?" This is not.
She opened for her for Reputation, by the way.
Exactly, like, and she was like, "Can you not
stupid.
do this? Like, this is ridiculous." Yeah. Like, and it just
people. It really is like that is a social media thing, like that's coming to like what? Why is this happening? And then you have the total extreme of it, where it's like, oh, don't post that people should die, or like it's a joke, get over it. It's like it's literally not a joke. Like, look at what has just happened.
Yeah.
So that's a whole separate thing. And I feel so freaking horrible for the Vienna for anybody that had a ticket there, like, and I know that most people probably aren't, that we're going to go to Vienna, probably aren't the ones that are
going to a lot of,
it's a small
100%
percentage that could have that voice.
I agree.
This is absolutely not towards Vienna. Like, Vienna Swifties, anyone that had a ticket specifically, it's directly only to the people that are trying to put any sort of blame for Taylor Swift for not speaking up soon enough, not saying the right words, not doing whatever. It's disgusting.
Well, and I think she put it well in like her Instagram post where she said, "I'm glad we're grieving a concert and not lives."
Yes, concerts and not lives.
Point. That's it. That's all. Like, exactly.
And then she says,
as sad as it is for the people that were going to go to those shows and couldn't, and like, you know, it's like you could have been dead.
To go online and to like complain about something like that, and you know, like, your words matter, your words are heard, your words are read, your words are maybe read by one person, by two people, maybe by Taylor Swift herself. Like, people really, really, really need to get a grip on what they post online. When it comes to this, and on a relatively small scale, well, it's not, Taylor read it, but like small scale as in hurt feelings, to a large scale where you're posting like a Swiftie should die today, or blah blah blah, even if you're saying like an Ariana Grande fan should die today. These people were literally radicalized by the internet. Like, that is where it starts. These young girls that were stabbed. Like, stop posting the shit, whether it's a joke or not. It does not matter. And like, I was thinking about it, I'm like, all I kept thinking going into the show was like, oh my god, it's gonna be canceled. I don't know, like, I just felt like something was gonna go wrong going to Munich, right? And I try to put myself in the position of like, well, I would have been devastated if I was at Vienna and those shows were canceled.
Of course.
And like, I would have had a hard time it's hard to wrap your brain around something like, oh, I was gonna die. It's like, but I didn't die. I want to see Taylor Swift. Like, I didn't die. Like,
for sure.
I get it so much that I think that I would have a hard, if I was gonna go to Vienna, which I almost did. It was between those two that I was gonna go to, but that doesn't matter. It's neither here nor there. Not because I'd be mad at Taylor Swift or whatever. I think if my shows got canceled, I probably would not be able to listen to Taylor Swift for a while. Well, I probably wouldn't, but I would literally never in a million years
I was gonna say, there's
online about it.
There's a difference in being upset that your concert was canceled, and I totally understand that. I don't like, what I can't stand is get like the blaming her and the being mad at her for not saying anything, because it made no sense to say something when you had 4 more shows the same week, basically. I agree. Like, if it was my show that got canceled, I would be devastated, but I wouldn't be like, it's so disrespectful of her to not say anything by Wednesday.
All we want is acknowledgement. Like, no.
Well, you got it now.
All you want is your show back. And that's not happening, and no matter what she would have posted,
but it's also, you know,
wouldn't have filled that hole.
And I also have to say, I feel like a lot of the things I even saw, like, about being mad at her, weren't even people that were going to the Vienna shows. Some were.
Some people are
some
just
were for sure,
mad for
but some just
mad.
Like, just were like, you know what, she should have said something.
Yeah.
Like, I can't believe she
really
hasn't.
Weird. Like, at first it was weird, but like 3 days and no word, 4 days and no word, like
she just doesn't
weird,
care.
Not gonna lie, NGL. Like, what then I also realized in a less serious sense is it's bizarre because I really like scrolling through Twitter. I don't really use TikTok anymore. I think I just don't like listening to things. I prefer reading.
Me too. I don't use it either.
And I only went on the other day to try to find a live stream real quick, and like it was the first time I went on, and there was like a billion notifications. I'm like, literally, I don't use it.
Yeah. Well, I can't even get into our account anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like, log back in, and I was like, I can't.
Oh, crap.
I mean, I have my cat's one that I use, but like.
So I'm like scrolling through, and like the more I scroll through, and this really could be because obviously my feed is pointing me to Taylor Swift, but I always thought that Twitter, after like we got it, and then when we were in high school, whatever, it kind of went away, and then like a few stragglers hung on there. You know what I mean? Like, there's just a few of us.
It felt like a wasteland for a while.
I don't really know anybody on Twitter anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see people that I know.
I don't see my own people. Yeah.
I don't. I just see random accounts, and like that's fine. Almost like TikTok.
Yeah.
And I thought it was an older thing, like a more mature medium with still crazy things on there. And I'm not saying mature as in right or wrong, just like an older crowd. And now I'm like realizing the more I look at it, I'm like,
it's not.
When did Twitter get young again?
Well, and it's not even well, it is young, but like it's not even necessarily that they're young. It's these are people that don't want to put their face behind what they're saying. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if you go on TikTok and talk about something, your TikTok can't be Taylor Swift's face as your profile picture. That's true. Everybody on
people
Twitter
are, like, saying slurs, telling people to kill themselves.
Oh yeah.
Like it's crazy. It's like it's really like below the belt shit.
Honestly,
and you're right. There's not as much of a like.
People know their first names if you tell them. Yeah. You know, like
it's because I see crazy. I either see crazy young, and then there's a gap of like not our age, and then all of a sudden it's like older political stuff, basically.
Yeah.
Like there's a giant gap, and I'm just realizing you're right, absolutely, with like there's no like face.
I just think it lends itself to crazier statements being made.
Yes.
Than like
more outlandish shit.
Right. And it doesn't necessarily have to do with age more than just like you feel like you can say whatever you want because people don't know who you are.
Yes.
Especially from the stan accounts, you know what I mean? Because, like, obviously.
The stan accounts, when I look, like, somebody thinks that they're an old Swiftie when they say they're 21. And I'm like,
oh, yeah.
No, you're not. You're a baby Swiftie if you say that. And I don't mean to be it in, like, a mean way or a nice way, but when I see that you're 21 years old, I'm like, well, that's why you're acting like a fucking lunatic.
Well, and I was going to say, what makes me sad about all this, too, and, like, because clearly she saw what people were saying because she wouldn't be putting "let me be clear" and like kind of whatever in her Instagram post, kind of being like, shut the fuck up, like you think I don't care about you, but I do. But it makes me sad that like she sees that kind of stuff when like there are so many normal fans out there that are just aren't as loud and like that really appreciate her and her music, you know, like, and it makes me. It was similar. Remember when that person asked us to do the Swiftie questionnaire?
Yeah.
That was literally one of my biggest things. I was like, I am a huge Taylor Swift fan, but I like literally don't really like to be called a Swiftie that much. And I was like, honestly, I get excited for concerts. I get excited for when albums come out because we talk about music. We don't talk about what she's not saying about, you know, whatever. Like, we're talking about her music. And I was like, obviously, it's getting a little crazy with Travis because I'm really invested in this.
Right.
But like, I was like, it like sometimes I like get so cringy about the fandom. Just like I'm really honestly I'm genuinely happy she's
ending
done
the tour soon.
Yeah, and like has a break right now before it starts again because I'm like
getting sick
girl,
of it. It's so
take a break, go watch some football games. Like
it's so frustrating.
Everything needs to calm down.
It's so frustrating. Like I love how the positive side of it, that she feels like she's on top of the world, that she should in a sense, and like feels confident, and like when she was person of the year and all that stuff, and like can finally get those accolades that she deserves. However, like I kind of like miss when she wasn't, I guess, like pre-Midnights, pre-Red Taylor's version. I miss that time when or like right around like the folklore where people were respecting her, and like I wish it kind of just stayed at that level.
I agree.
It just feels like a constant battle and a constant, like, for ourselves, for our own sakes, for Taylor's sakes, for like being like Swifties being looked at in a certain way and whatever it is. And it's like, oh my god, like I don't care how popular Taylor is, I just love her music, and I always have.
No, like I agree.
She was popular enough then. I wish it could go back to that.
I agree.
It's just like, it's so frustrating.
It's really annoying
because just go away. Like, you don't need to comment on how you feel about Taylor's music.
Exactly. And I just like, I'm like, yes, I really genuinely am excited for her to, like, not I'm excited that she's taking a break. I am excited for her to be able to be taking a break.
Because she's got it. Like, it came to a head. Like, it really came to a head with like everything that happened in Vienna. Like, okay, we gotta. Let's just all take a breath.
I also, I love how people. So I totally think maybe because she hasn't played Cassandra yet.
I know.
Like, I totally think that
Mad Woman, like every.
I think that's gonna come in Miami, because so many people were quote tweeting that song when like they were like, "Where's everybody that was shaming her now?" After she like posted, they were like, "Oh, when it's burn the bitch, they're screaming. When the truth comes out, it's quiet." Like we were like, I was like, "Oh, I hope she plays it in Miami." Just twist that knife, Taylor. You're almost done.
Oh man. And people also think that that's gonna come with a Reputation announcement, because although those two songs are folklore torture poets, they're very much about the whole Reputation era. Which of course did not come in London.
Yeah, let's talk.
I don't know. Do you think it'll come?
Okay, I get confused.
On Eras Tour.
I really get confused because, like, when people are like, it makes no sense that she wouldn't finish the Eras Tour owning all her albums. I agree. Like, I'm like, it doesn't make sense that she would do that. However,
she cannot.
Right, but like at the same time, when she released, well, Evermore feels like it always gets the shaft, but like Fearless came out 5 months after Evermore, in April.
Yeah.
Evermore was in December, and then she did like a year of 2 re-records, like Fearless and Red,
and then Red was the same.
And
year.
then Midnight's came out in 2022, and then Midnight's had 8 months before Speak Now, and then 1989, and then Tortured Poets. So if she's giving Tortured Poets its moment in the sun, I would say they're not coming this year. Maybe they're coming next year. Because it seems like it's 2 re-records, a new album, 2 re-records, a new album. Next year would be the 2 re-records, then a new album in 26. Right. But
yeah, I could.
But I agree. Like it feels weird that she wouldn't. But at this point, there's only 5 stops left. She definitely can't put out both unless she surprise drops both of them. Maybe she does it at the end.
I can see her just dropping Reputation. You know, no explanation, just Reputation or whatever.
Yeah.
And doing Reputation by the end of the year. But I just don't see the vision, and I don't mean this in a bad or a good way, for like, but what about Debut? But Debut is also not on the Eras Tour. Not that it needs to be, but like, I guess that could just be like a Fearless drop or a Red Taylor's version drop. Like, it has nothing to do with the Eras Tour, because not all of them were Eras Tour, just 2. So I feel like she's gonna want to drop Reputation. The announcement for it.
That's what I was just gonna say. So, or maybe she'll do the announcement at the last show of the Eras Tour or something, so that it still comes out. Like, you know how people were thinking New Year's Day is when it would come out. So maybe her shows are ending in November. Maybe she announces Reputation's coming out New Year's Day, whatever, and then it's still playing into the 2 next year.
No, I agree with that totally. The only like thing I'm thinking is like, I really feel like whatever the vault tracks are for both albums, I just feel like we don't know what the next tour is gonna be, and I don't know. I just feel like it would be weird if we didn't hear any of those vault tracks ever. Like, or be not even weird, but like almost like a little sad. Like, oh.
But she'll do surprise songs if she tours again. She's always going to do that, because she did that in Reputation.
Yeah.
So, like, I love how she does say, it's like, this is a new thing I'm doing. It's like, it's kind of not.
It's kind of not. However, she used to do a lot of the same ones.
Right. But, like, she's not going to not do surprise songs at any of her shows ever again. So, like...
Yeah, I guess you're right.
I think you'd get Reputation vault tracks and surprise songs. And, like, for Debut...
I just can't imagine another... Like, how do you tour after this?
I don't know if you do. Like, I genuinely don't.
How
like,
do you
and
tour
that's
after the biggest tour of all time?
And that's what I'm saying. Like, and also, your tour was about every single album you've ever done. Is your next tour going to be about every single album you've ever done plus 1? Because that's actually kind of what this tour became with the European, like, adding Tortured Poets. Right. So, like, to me, that's why I kept feeling like, okay. Especially when she added Tortured Poets to the tour, I was like, all right, like, I feel like we're shifting here. Like, I don't know what's next. But
I agree.
is there a tour involved? Maybe not. Is it similar to Loverfest? Couple shows. You can't. I don't think she. I think she can't do that anymore.
She's too big for that.
So is
she
it something like?
Residency.
Yeah, right. Like I genuinely don't know what it will be.
It blows my mind.
Which is why I also feel like it could take a little time till we know what's next.
I can't like.
And like, you know, she's getting really into like the directing type stuff. So is this gonna be like just not?
Lest we forget, she said she's directing a movie.
Yeah.
What the fuck ever happened with that?
I don't know.
Jeez.
But yeah, I don't know, I don't know what you do, because every other tour, like, she's played Love Story every single tour she's ever done.
Yeah.
And You Belong With Me, actually.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like, do you, in your tour of your 12th album, are there, like, do you do that? Do you sprinkle in Shake It Off, Love Story, whatever other, you know?
She can go back to it. It just feels like
she gave them the spotlight now that it feels weird.
She'd have to be like, I wanted to have hit my peak and I don't want to hit this peak again. Now I'm dialing it back and just doing one album. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I agree.
Be like, I saw the sun and I tasted it and it's wonderful and it's great.
And I also,
and I don't need it again.
And to be fair,
and
she
I don't reach higher.
Because I think the way, and part of the reason the Eras Tour became the Eras Tour is because she had 4 albums that came out that she never toured.
Right.
So, like, I could see it being, we're going to kind of go back to the Red Tour where you sprinkle in some of the classics, but it's mainly the Red album.
Right.
Like, I could see that being her next tour, but at the same time, I do not understand.
I hope it does, though, because I hope she sees what this tour was, and it was amazing. It was great. She broke the records, and it brought in young Swifties, like, you know, because she's singing her old songs. But I hope she's like, okay, I just want to, like, weed everybody out and get back to, like, my fans that are my fans.
Yeah.
And just do album tours again.
I would love it.
So then it's not like the whole fucking world is there.
Well, and I think she will, because you can't.
I hope she, honestly, I hope so.
You can't do the Eras Tour again?
No.
Right? I wouldn't think you can.
You can,
I mean, right, she technically can, but, like,
I hope that she goes back to album, sprinkle in some of the hits, because it will weed out the crazy people. It will weed out the people that, like, are just going because it's, like, trendy.
Yep.
And get back to, like, better for Taylor.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't need to be this whole big whatever. She's still going to make the money. It's still going to be a bitch probably to get the tickets. And it's better for all the fans that, like, genuinely just want to see her, to see the songs.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be really interesting. But I really do genuinely feel happy for her that this is almost over.
Me too.
And that's what also makes me sad about it. Like, obviously it's grueling because she's been touring for over a year now. But, like...
It's gruel. Sorry.
There you go. But I also feel like, especially with, like, the last couple weeks, I'm sure she's also never felt more like, yeah, I'm ready for this to be over.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm ready to fade away a little bit. Like, and I don't mean fade away, but I mean, like, I'm ready to go to Kansas City and make cinnamon buns.
Yep.
And watch some football.
I'm with you, Tay. And, well, on a final note, that music video that just came out.
Yes. Okay.
I'm so glad I have a few questions answered. I can do it with a broken heart.
No, I know, but what were your well, one, I do, similar vein we were just talking about, like, people were apparently online saying that, oh, wow, she really skimped on making a music video. And they were like, have you watched?
She's literally done
she
this
does
for
this every time, except for Reputation. She did not.
No.
But, like, every single
by the way,
tour.
We've been begging for this. Like, this is exactly what I wanted.
I also still totally think there's going to be a documentary at some point.
Yeah, because they were filming the day that it was released. They were filming Mama Swift, who's there, and, like, so there's got to be something, because they were filming her.
Wait, so what questions did it answer?
Okay. one, I just really needed to see how she dove into the stage. I assumed that's how it was.
I actually really agree with you.
And then, but I was like, thank God. I literally, the whole, because it doesn't come until like the
Towards the end,
half,
yeah.
And I'm like, please God,
Yeah.
please, I just need to see how she dives into the stage. I just need to see how she lands. 2, this was a question, but I didn't know it was a question, but it was a question, is how she gets
so fast,
so quick, and the little thingy
the
that
little
she rides on.
yeah. I thought, yep,
So
I thought
cool.
the same thing. I was like,
never
okay,
thought it.
yep.
Because I was thinking, like, okay, when she goes down from the surprise to back up to Lavender Haze, like, is she running? Like, how does she run and change at the same time? That doesn't make sense. Wouldn't she be out of breath? Does she pee? That I still have questions. Does she pee?
I don't think she does.
Maybe during red.
Maybe. I mean,
You could train your body to pee at the same time.
Well, yeah, but the time zones.
No,
you know
but
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's not technically the same exact time every day.
I just feel like, but what if she had to pee?
I
guess
don't know,
they have
maybe-
experts for that. What if she just,
Maybe
what
an
if she had
adrenaline
a fart?
or poop.
Or poop? What if she has her period? Seriously though, like,
That must suck. The shows she
what
has
do
her
you
period.
do?
That must suck.
Genuinely, what the fuck do you do?
I feel like
Obviously, it happened.
there's rich people things
Maybe
that
birth control, and she like doesn't get
maybe
it.
I don't know. I feel like there's rich people things that she does to prevent herself from pooping and perioding and whatever else.
Farting.
Yeah.
I'm sure she farts.
I don't know, but I agree. Like,
I believe she ate a bug in Munich, and I'm like, right. I think she just. I forget what song it was during. I'm like, I think she just ate a bug. She was like, but I felt like it would have like went viral the next day, and
and it didn't.
I just remember thinking it and like
Yeah.
never like going back to it until just now.
Mhm.
Because we obviously do see like those little like whatever when
Right.
she's a cold and she blows her nose, we know. But
Well, we've seen like I've seen the videos of her like sipping like water
which
like
she does, yes.
yeah.
They have probably a very like, this is how much water you need to drink in order to be
Right.
okay, blah blah blah
Yeah.
blah, blah, to be safe.
Yeah. Well, I mean, also to be fair, like when you think about it, I like when we went to that first show. Once the show started, I think we peed right before it started. I didn't pee again until we got back to your apartment,
Yeah.
like 6 hours later.
Yeah.
I don't even know. And in that sense, I wasn't the one expending a lot of energy up on stage, like where maybe you're sweating out.
That's true.
I don't know.
It's just crazy to
I
think
mean,
about.
there has to have been a time where she was like, I gotta go.
But I
Like
would
even
love
if
to
even
see
if
this in a
most shows,
documentary.
yeah, even if most shows she doesn't, there has to have been a couple times where she was like, no, I'm literally gonna pee my pants. Like I need to.
Yes. And well, really, not even the pee, because that I think could be more trained, but like the poop. She has to have a specific diet.
That's what I was just gonna say.
I
I'm
really
sure she has a
hope
really specific
the
diet.
documentary kind of goes into,
I feel like it will.
yeah, like not even like specifically what she eats, but just like, yeah, I can't pee, or if I have to pee, I have to do it during red.
Right. No, I definitely. Well, I don't know if we're gonna get like that, like
Right.
when she
Probably
can
just, like, a
bodily function,
more-
but I think we're definitely gonna get like
Today, I
really
have my
specific
period.
details of it.
This is where I changed my tampon.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I mean,
but oh wow, I would die for that, for a whole like movie, just straight to streaming. Doesn't need to be a whole
Yeah.
big concert.
well, it's funny because when I made Connor watch the Eras Tour movie, like after the second, like once the man started, I think he was like, "Wait, is this not a documentary?" And I was like, "No, Connor, it's like a concert movie." And he was like, "Oh, so we're just like watching the concert?" And I was like, "That's right." So
He
I
was probably
would,
like, "I'm
I
gonna
would
kill
love
myself."
for there to be a documentary so
Yeah.
that he can watch that.
Yes.
He'd enjoy that much more. than
I
the
do
concert.
agree. If I'm watching something that I'm not like, I don't know every song or whatever it is, like I very much would rather a documentary.
Oh, for sure. Like,
Definitely. But it's so good. But so 2 things I'm really looking forward to. Like, we have been so starved of Travis Kelce.
yeah, I hope he's in it.
That, well, not even the documentary.
Oh, just
like,
football.
in the future.
Me too. Me too.
I can't wait.
I can't wait for football season in general, but like for that
Yeah.
added aspect.
And a potential documentary.
Yeah.
Those are the things.
I'm more excited for both of those than Reputation or Debut.
Yeah. No. Yeah. No, Reputation Ball Track's going to be wild.
No, I mean, like, obviously I'll be excited when they happen, but, like, I don't really care when it happens.
I agree. I'm not even thinking. Those things are not even on my
right.
radar.
Like, when they happen, I'm going to be excited, but, like, I'm really excited for, like, football season, and then I'm really excited, hopefully, for a documentary.
And the VMAs. Those are coming up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if she'll be there, but we'll see.
Something tells me she won't.
Something tells me she will.
We'll see.
I just made that up.
We'll see.
Is that all?
I think.
It should be.
It really should be.
How does this happen to us?
I don't know. I'm really sorry, everybody.
We're disgusting.
We talked about like 6 shows in total.
Shows?
London, Munich. Somehow.
Dublin a little.
I mean, a little, yeah, but like somehow that took up 2 hours and 45 minutes.
We'll cut it.
Honestly, we're going to figure this out.
Well, you know, we don't have that episodes that often, so it's fine.
That's true. That's true.
Joe, we're going to post like 3-hour podcasts like every day.
Yeah. I don't really want to be compared to Joe Rogan.
Well, I just mean like, if people want to listen, they'll listen.
Yes, and they can like take breaks because they're like, oh, these bitches only upload every 3 months. Like, we're gonna like listen an hour a month. Yeah. You're welcome.
No, we're good. We're on track with our 1 month.
Yeah, for 1 month. What's gonna happen when there's no more Eras tour?
We go back to our track listing.
Oh my god, that was fun.
Yeah, we haven't done that for a long time.
I mean, it's been at least 2 years.
Yeah, because there's been so much.
Yeah. Okay, that'll be fun. Or maybe we can deep dive into more
shorter.
Tortured Poets.
We need more structure.
Okay, so that is actually one thing I was thinking of today too. I promise it's so quick. I promise it's so quick. I actually really enjoy re-releases, like Taylor's versions, because we can focus on the vault songs. And it's only like 6 songs that we really have to pay attention to, and we can like breeze through. I mean, they're 2-hour episodes, but like, you know what I mean? Like, so I'm really excited for those for podcast episodes.
They keep getting progressively longer though.
No, but like for those, we're like, we have a packed schedule. We got to keep going. So then it only ends up being 2.5 hours, but like it's actual content and not us just talking about concerts we weren't at for 2 hours. Anyway, that's it.
God bless.
Pick it up. Pick all your stuff up, okay? Because
the
the camera's dying and we're dropping our mics.